被先手好像要直接被秒掉了，杨这边没有开出大招，
直接上了，这局套上来差点秒了 DP， 还有水球滚了出来。
但是 DP 是一个超级残血，能吸回来吗？吹风吹自己，
两个误触吸回来，
漂亮的勾引，但是石灵剑士的残局滚 ，DP 能不能活下来？被撞晕了，但是又被弹上了一个高波。emo 水人直接拨脸上打了一轮输出，还是把这个飞机给打死了。
两边好像要破雾，蓝走第一个是直接破雾，
跳走漂亮。然后水人这个位置切入，直接打飞机，有精灵的加持，这里飞机还是活了过来。好像正面在硬刚，双方交出大招，好这么一个电魂，这个飞机一倒，正面战场应该是否了。后面烂扬到了死亡先知，大招插起来配合紫毛切入，死亡先知被残云吸，紫毛伤害全部打满，死亡先知又是被秒埋不活，然后这样的话海明也是接连倒下，骷髅王交第一条命，
起来应该被无人围殴。
对，小白又是在外面只能看进不去，这样阿 Sir 也是打出了机器，我们恭喜 IG 战队啊击败了阿 Sir， 还是保住了自己中国区第一的这个位置。第二条龙，端柱跟喷火，白牛跟冲，大牛一脚踩直接完美踩住两个人，甚至一抹相反杀，拉住放残影，小白给电给上一个拉，蓝包滚 A， 直接动手，被沉默了，莫勇过来跟虚空，莫勇一炸，这人马非常危险，一丝血塔下，小白交了一个滚人马，这个时候醒过来开出一个大招，蓝包踢塔下反杀对方的夜魔应该是没什么问题的。一脚踩住塔下龙骑士，裂地沟壑跟腱，默克一个回头大招复滚，但是蓝猫还是过来强杀掉了对方的一个龙骑士，人马再开大招掩护队友撤退，卖了一个大牛，而且菲菲这个时候有大招，甚至人马再跟上，再一脚踩又反杀一个。8条计时有勾，过来一勾勾住剑圣，接撕裂大地，接往回弹，让剑圣剑刃风暴路被堵住，奶棒再回血小小再过来打一套 BT2连，想杀拉希克有吹风躲了一个头束的伤害，落地之后一下普通杀没够，但等剑圣过来之后一刀还是砍死美杜莎想 TP，
有没有偏势啊？没有控制技能了，
血晶石拉希克配合美杜莎直接往前硬顶，把所有人全部打退。这路高地还是要破掉，
但是偏势哥还在，别想跑，想留人，
他打不过，
哎呦，偏势哥被夹死了，奶棒扣一下，
哎兄弟帮一下，很急。
卡卡说你不能走，
哎呦，但是这个撕裂大地真的剑圣动不了，加上石化，8条计时又出钩了，又是死亡先知买活死。过来破对方雾，中了一个虚灵，中了个2连，小白电了一下，马尔斯毛了一下，
伤害不够，没死，没杀死这个挑战8条，
少了一个端，大牛踩了一下水人拨上来强收，然后变人马踩住真人马，自己中了一个撕裂大地，自己变回来没看清准，力量被秒了。找到了马尔斯，往回弹有 BKB， 被冰眼黏住放上一个大招，一毛把人毛走 ，BKB 时间还可以，能够撤出来。人马一个踩到后面，水人的小开 BKB 过来打输出，秒对方的拉希克，水人拨上来，拉希克开始血晶石转血还是被秒，这样小黑 BKB 时间快要结束，赶紧自己推一手，但是8条计时一个弹把小黑弹了回来，正面美杜莎冰眼，小黑有点不是对手，被迫回头交上一个束剑齐发，但是输出实在不够，水人再拨上来变上一个人马给上一个双踩，小白拉住美杜莎救下小黑往回撤。人马再往前踩，还是踩到了小黑。美杜莎正面站桩输出，对方2个核心有点不是对手。水人往回拨走，但是小黑被秒了。8条勾水人，把这个路封住。但我们看马尔斯后排也是在介入，水人拨过来，但是有点第一时间找不到目标打。拉希克先秒对方的一个小歪，小歪是可以买的，也是秒买活。这里马尔斯被石化住，应该也是要阵亡。我们看里面肉山，美杜莎直接往里找肉山了。血量很残，水人再拨过来打狂小是一个虚灵直接斩杀，拉希克是买不了的。水人这波是变了一个发条，小黑占据了一个地形优势，美杜莎这里在狂被放风筝，水人在自己切后排。切掉8条计时，后面小白空插接马尔斯毛，美杜莎失去了队友的掩护，蓝量被打干，小白在捆绑住，美杜莎也是阵亡。
这波残局给水人是完美收割。
过来破物是黑鞋给自己奔腾，贴边走回头交上了一个双拉加上墙，而且土猫好像刚才给了一个沉默。末日使者回头，这个时候大招大给小狗，幽鬼开大招，土猫跟切入，这里蓝交大也是配合先秒了对方的一个末日使者，但是自己应该是要被换掉。巴西克撕裂大地晕两个配合土猫第二个滚找切入是发条，即使吃了个魔棒，那应该还是要被带走。看下火女这位置。有一个刃甲幽鬼在替他顶前面，大牛 CT2连叫上自己的烈地沟壑，配合火女的神灭斩，直接秒对方的小狗拉吉克，随之也是被带走。后面还有一个黑弦吹风留下，有没有光击阵？第一时间在 CD 先跟普攻，能打死吗？有个幽鬼之刃也是收掉。
高台上面还有
幽鬼先开大招，看团战开起来之后，烂先交大枪秒对方的一个末日使者，开 BKB 一丝血，还是有危险。还是被带走。临死之前自己是把大招甩出去，给到了一个小狗。发条技术切入之后，自己没有队友，剩前人上不来，自己也是切入之后被带走。土毛是 BKB 结束吃了对方火女全套技能，烂往前跳是没拦。这个幽鬼顶到脸上，烂交一个空四被幽鬼贴身，开 BKB 想抢秒蓝，黑弦被迫交上一个墙。幽鬼开大招，配合发条一勾，还是把蓝秒掉了。末日大招过来，第一个甩给了小狗，第二个刷新球是已经摁了。这个莲花给的是比较晚，末日使者过来被黑弦拉墙拉3个，然后回头这里末日第二个大师给了黑弦，这波团小象打不了，被末日打了一波完美先手。直接甩了一个神灭斩，自己有被拉了一个神灭斩，FI 反杀对方火女，这波已经尽力了。哦呦，莲花挡力锤，凤凰直接过来变了一个塔后弹，大树交大招，马尔斯也是立大弹，龙骑有 BKB， 这脚踩出之后，骷髅王的命先交了，虚空跳上来，这波好像看拉比克能偷到关键技能吗？偷了一个虚空大招，造出了一个 BKB 火女，但自己的输出点全都倒了。骷髅王是2条命全交，龙骑士没有了 BKB 之后，自己有点被虚空假面被动撬着动不了。这里火女能被换掉吗？塔的攻击力还是把火女换掉，但这个正面团小象是已经溃败了。凤凰弹虚空大招过来先敲对方的黑弦，
照到黑弦了，
龙骑士 BKB 结束也要被凤凰弹晕。骷髅王过来之后想锤，但是被跳走，而且这时候大师跳过来也是交上了一个大招，断了对方的一个大牛，加上一个龙骑士。
凤凰拿到刷新，再来一个大招，黑弦买活过来也打不过。
这2个核心开着 BKB 只能跑，里面有人选择已经很残了，龙骑士跳过来 BKB 打入山，BKB 夺取了不朽之守护。看一下这波有没有机会啊？他奶酪和那个魔晶是都拿了，骷髅王有大招能够撤回来吗？撤的这个位置好像不是特别好。马尔斯1毛，没戳到，
有 BKB，
大树大招再留。我们看一下拉比克这个举是控了对方3个，虚空跳上来，又被踩了，黑弦拉3个，但是这一锤莲花上，骷髅王自己第10也是被控了一下，一刀暴击能砍死马尔斯，还能带走一个大树。但是我们看火女的输出，靠自己的普攻加上神灭斩带走了2条命的骷髅王，
强了一下，但是没有控这个虚空。
残局龙骑士没有输出啊，而且动不了。
Ladies and gentlemen, not sure why the transition didn't quite work there, but in any case, we are here. Welcome to another series here. The last series that we're actually casting together, at least on the regular schedule, Phoenix Gaming versus LBZS. I'm very excited because this is one of the big ones, Kiss. This is one of the top tier matchups in this particular bracket, and well, there's some reasons for that. You can look at the standings. Phoenix 5-0, sitting on top of the charts right now, but they are not invincible right now. They've got a couple of games, one of them up against LBZS right on the heels with 4-1, so they could tie things up on the standings right now. But S-Area, CDC, and Magma all right on the heels with a bunch of games being still having to be played out over the next couple of days. I guess tomorrow and then May 17th, those are the last 2 game days. I know, the 10th, 11th, 16th, and 17th, so it's just a couple of games left here in the lower division after Team Dragon, unfortunately, did drop out. So, yeah, Kips, what are your thoughts on this one? We've already got a spicy draft by the looks of it.
Yeah, I was going to say initially, all right, I favor Phoenix here, not in the least because my favorite player from this division, Planet, has been doing great work for him for them all season so far. Feels bad to root against Katyu here, who's another one of our favorites, right? And he is going to be playing on his Tusk, but they're immediately going to be faced with a second pick Brood, and I'm a little bit surprised that they're picking it up this early. I imagine that means there's another twist in the draft coming. Because I don't think Brood is getting banned in the second phase right now.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. Like, normally it's still it's a very different hero. I still don't quite know how it actually works out nowadays here, because you don't get your spiders until level 6.
Well, I can help you out with that a little bit. I've seen 2 main builds so far. The most popular one is Pipe and Greaves. So really going for a tanky kind of broodmother with the amount of farm that you get after your laning stage is over, because of course you only get the spiderlings on level 6.
Yeah.
So you accelerate a little bit later, but you become pretty much the same hero after the laning stage is over. You just have at least a stronger man-fighting presence in the laning stage. You're not as much of a spiderling nuisance anymore, but because you trade very well with the incapacitating bite, it actually means that you can hold your own versus some lanes where you previously couldn't.
Sounds good. Apparently I'm not having any audio, so I'm gonna fix it real quick.
Anyway, LBZS immediately pick up the Mars. I think that's a great pick for them overall. Mars Tusk is a very powerful laning combination. Mars can one-shot the spiderlings throughout the game as well. So this means that LBZS can simply leave a single hero over on their bottom lane to deal with what I presume is going to be an offlane spider. I haven't seen it mid yet. I know it's been tried. But I like the idea of a steady presence on that offlane where, you know, the enemy is always going to have at least one hero to deal with it. And that also means that, apart from the Mars, LBZS will probably be looking for another big team fighter that can make moves earlier. Because otherwise, your way to make the game move is going to be stuck in the Broodmother lane.
Yeah. Alright, I fixed it by turning it off and on again. So, glad to know that always works. This is why I'm a trained IT technician. So I can figure these things out, but yeah. More team fights, always a good idea. On top of the Mars, especially for LBZS. Like you can very easily continue to build this kind of draft around this idea, right? I mean, with Tusk kind of charging ahead from minute 1, basically. Maybe not that early, kind of want to have a couple of levels to have all your utility available. Yeah, you get the idea, right? Just around them, transition that into a strong mid game around the Mars and whatever other damage dealers you want to pick up with that, and you sort of follow up. Yeah. You'd want some extra magical damage, perhaps, for LBZS.
Yeah, well, so Phoenix Gaming ban out the Lash, which I think is one of the better bans here because of the massive magical AoE damage and the fact that this is a mid hero that will indeed make the game move even in absence of a Mars. who might be tied up on the side lane. And then over on the side of LBZS, I think a little bit of preparatory bans here. Razor, Doom, Morphling taken out. Does mean that this is a nice place to pick an Ursa, my friends.
Oh yeah.
Seen this do work in the hands of Kuman and Shad over in Europe. And it's also going to lane pretty well versus the Mars, who stands his ground for a bit, but after that starts trading badly versus the Ursa.
Yeah.
That said, this is not exactly like a 70-30 matchup for the Ursa. It's more like 55-45. And if you get behind as the Ursa for any reason, the Mars is actually one of the few heroes that can stand his ground very reasonably into you.
Yep.
Even into the late game. I have seen 40-minute Ursas empty out entire overpowers on Marses who barely shrugged.
Oh yeah.
So
I've hit it in the front. It's still gets reduced quite significantly, and yeah, and even in lane, even if Mars can't directly dominate and fight you necessarily, just depending on how the situation is at that moment. Worst comes to worst, you can just walk up, cast his 2 spells, at which point you're not gonna hit him because of the slow attached to the crit, and then the spear of course pushing him away. And then Mars just turns around, walks back, plays defensively for a while until these spells are off cooldown again. So it's he's gonna get something out of that lane at the very least. And there's that Ancient Apparition. So earlier today, earlier on the stream, we saw an overview of the heroes that have been picked and their win rates. Tusk was there with what was it, 68.8% win rates?
yeah,
Ancient Apparition.
69.
Yes, almost. Yeah, let's say 69%. Ancient Apparition was beyond that, 72 or something or other, with 11 games picked. And well, looks like LBZS, they want to maximize their chances here. Phantom Lance also being thrown out. As Phoenix getting themselves more specialty heroes here. The Dark Willow. I don't know about this one, especially with Phantom Lancer response. That's a hero that does not really get bothered by the Dark Willow nearly as much as some others, just because you can dispel that Curse Crown, you can use your illusions to get through the brambles and whatnot.
Yep, also a Manta style builder, of course, so not bothered by the Curse Crown or the brambles there either. AA, great team fight pickup with Mars. Right now, the LBZS lineup packs a lot more punch than Phoenix Gaming. Like, sure, the Broodmother and the Ursa are going to be able to man-fight you pretty well, but those are individual heroes, and overall, if you get grouped up...
Even then, like, don't you just get kited here? I mean, Phantom Lancer just inherently very slippery. And if he's playing in the right position, then... I mean, Ancient Apparitions is going to be an easy kill, but beyond that, you have Mars who can push you away. You can have the Tusk who can interfere with shards or snowball saves, what have you. It's like, I don't imagine this to be the easiest game for the Ursa and the Broodmother to stay on top of people, not with this kind of supporting squad.
I don't think so either. Like, this should definitely be a Battle Fury Ursa game, just to make sure that he can cleave through those illusions later on. And of course, Ursa is one of the few heroes that can fight with pretty much Battle Fury alone. I've seen Ursas get involved in fights with half of a Battle Fury yesterday.
Yeah. As long as you go in and get to claw some faces off, you're gonna be fine on that hero. It comes to joining
Exactly.
fights.
You always have the Enrage to get out. So you can definitely play faster with this Ursa than a Phantom Lancer lineup is going to do, but yeah, the kiting issue mid to late game persists, and LBZS take out 2 very good illusion clearing heroes here. So no Lina, no Ember Spirit, and both of these heroes also play relatively fast. So that's another issue for Phoenix Game to deal with. And I feel like here you'd want a ranged source of magic damage. Well, Lina and Razor are both out already. Puck is out. Actually get rid of the Storm Spirit themselves. Does that mean you're looking for...
What, maybe?
Void Spirit, maybe? Quap? Possible? I've seen SF lose matchups to Storm. Don't think this is an SF game, though. You can't stand your ground versus AA Tusk. Well, then again, if you want to counter the enemy mid laner here, DP SF is not as SF favored as it used to be, but but SF still comes out ahead on that one.
Yeah.
So maybe they're thinking about it.
还剩10秒。
They have a little bit
Other
of time to think
options,
about it.
Kuka.
37 seconds left on reserve time, but yeah. Kuka, Quap. What else is there? Unless you want to get some another weird specialty kind of mid hero. Guess Void Spirit has been falling out of favor, but that's a Queen of Pain. I'm claiming this one as the correct prediction on my part. So.
Yeah, sure thing. I can give you that.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. Again, you can kind of get away from the task. You can jump over the wall, like so. Unless she's maybe brain lagging for half a second or something and still gets caught by the mass. It's not gonna have the easiest time necessarily initiating on her. That being said, she's the kind of hero that can have a hard time scaling, especially as the game goes on, if she's not staying well ahead of the curve, especially against a Phantom Lancer. Like, eventually this magic damage is just not going to be enough to clear through the illusions anymore, let alone the real heroes. So, this... I don't know how I feel about this this Phoenix draft, Skips. I feel like it's going to be very hard to execute.
I think so as well. I think they're the superior team with an inferior draft right now, and that Quap really feels like a stopgap measure to quickly fill in all of the holes that they had left. She's going to do a nice mid. She has opportunities to roam very nicely this game as well. This AA is a free kill, among things.
Yeah.
And she's going to have pressure over on that side lane from the Brood Mother at all times, unless the Brood gets pushed out of lane really hard. Wouldn't be surprised to see some lane shenanigans here, because of course LBZS would really like to lane the Mars up versus the Brood instead of throwing their Phantom Lancer to the spiders. We're going to have to see what they come up with here. Phoenix have choices, but they are going to have to outplay LBZS a little bit for it.
For sure, so... Yeah, Phoenix definitely coming in, again, as the favorites in this matchup, just looking at their previous performances here. But then again, they have dropped some games here and there against lower-ranked teams, but so have LBZS. Just part of why this is a very interesting and a very important best-of-3 series between these two teams. This might very well decide... or end up deciding which one of these teams will make it further. I mean, LBZS still have to play Magma. It's not going to be the easiest. Phoenix has to play CDEC, so there's a lot of opportunities for shakeups here, and there are scenarios, I believe, with Phoenix. Can actually not advance here. 5 wins.
30秒后战斗开始。
If CDs,
Extremely
if
rare.
they lose here, and if CD, it's actually, yeah, it'll have to come down to tie-breaking rules and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think they can just straight up get knocked out, just looking at this, but they can be forced into tiebreakers. Depending on how well CDC and Magma and the other teams do, but yeah, it's better for them if they end up winning the series, let's just put it that way.
Would be a show of dominance as well, as you watch the scuffle for the first runes of the game, and it isn't much of a scuffle. Neither of these teams particularly willing to engage the other. Fighting level 1 into a Tusk would be a bad idea, but so is fighting level 1 into an Enchantress usually. Yeah. So neither of these teams really wanting to take the risk. Would have liked to see LBZS try to leverage that Tusk power, but it's all good. Runes go 50-50, and we're going to watch Quap versus DP. Now, we have seen in the lower division in the past that there are some Quaps who didn't even level Dagger in this lane. I'm very happy to see that Dash here has done so and is going to opt for winning his lane much harder over the possibility of more farm later. That was a weird build, wasn't it? Just the max scream build.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it in certain matchups, like if you're... I don't know, like, if you're against someone who just has way more range, like maybe Lina or something, that you can't really reliably get to occasionally, but I think it's heroes like Dragonite, you want that value point just for the early levels, just to keep them honest. So eventually you just start regioning through it. Max screen, not a single point in dagger. It seems very suspect to me, honestly.
Well, that's where we were
Yeah.
previously in the season.
Yep.
Luckily, those times are gone.
Then again, we're just lowly casters, and we're not the pro players here, so they'll have to make their own choices, and then they'll have to deal with the consequences. And we're just happy about it, one way or the other.
True. Either we get to laugh or we get to cry.
Yes.
Dolme getting left, I can't say relatively unbothered here, but Planet did a decent job of securing him the first 2 waves. He's level 2 right now, and I imagine that he is going to be rather fine in this match. AA Phantom Lancer, not a lot of kill power, even if you do get the slow off. I'm not sure that you can ever proc the cold feet on a spider as long as she's in her webs.
Yep.
She was trading with the incapacitating bite a little bit there, and there's a pause.
Yeah, food disconnected apparently, but yeah, it's as laning combinations go, there's not too many these days that can combo up with the Ancient Aberration to actually have the cold feet proc and do a lot more damage with that. Phantom Lancer not really one of them. Slow on the spear, not strong enough at the best of times, let alone, as you said, against the Brute Mother inside the web. So far so good up there. Back already.
Yeah, we've mostly seen AA Wraith King for the real kill lane with AA. Phantom Lancer AA is just happy if you get through the laning stage relatively unscathed. Hopefully get Xiaofu a early level 6 to combo up with that Mars as well. Maybe even on the first Mars run. I was surprised that Phoenix is just taking the Brood Mother lane to the face, though. I thought that perhaps they'd rotate the Mars in early, so they wouldn't have to do that later, because they will have to do that later.
Yeah. So far wishing. He's holding his own, but he's getting a lot of his creeps denied. Phantom Lancer, but yeah. Missing lane positions here in the bottom as the current does go down. Catch you with the snipe. EZQ was on the wrong side of him. I guess. Curious to see how that goes sometimes. Oh, Irving gets the creep deny, very strong, and the last hit on a range creep. This lane's actually over. ZZQ is very sad, especially with this combo. First blood being drawn, just excellently played. He gets the courier, the range creeps go the way of the Mars. Then you just combo up with the spear on the shards and through the tag team. What more can you ask for, Gibbs?
You could ask to be keeping this Ursa down harder, but they haven't really been confronting him. Mars and Tusk have chosen to pull the waves instead.
Yep.
And now side pull here for Planet as well. Very nice. This Brood Mother is enjoying life. Top of the CS chart right now. Nice lot of denies as well. That's a
bunch of damage
Shiro.
here. He's kind of out of region. Only last tango that he's munching on at the moment. EZQ has a self, I believe, so he'll be making his way over to help out. Dash in mid, still trying to play his way through there, but very even so far. X keeping himself alive, Catcher securing runes, and builds. Okay. Catcher just taking one of them for good measure.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward when you're butted up against a cliff here, but it seems like both of these teams are very content with the laning stage so far, and we're only really going to see the movement afterwards, which is kind of surprising. Honestly, we can see a lot of early action. Poor donkey.
At least EZQ doesn't need the mana region at the moment, but yeah, the sentries a bit more annoying, especially because like there's 2 dire observer wards in this Radiant jungle to scout for these courier rotations and nothing else. And if you can't get the courier to bring you sentries, you can't deward them, so your courier is safe. So it's a bit of a catch-22 in that sense. Oof, dash. Very low, but still had the blink available. I think actually out of bottle shot, there's no more runes either on X. So he has to walk all the way back home. Bob got some region delivered though, so yeah, he can take the advantage in his lane now, unless Katyu can mess with him.
He's going to try, or at least place a ward there. They are extremely focused on this mid lane right now. Presumably also waiting to see where the Quap is rotating so that they can go for an exorcism push as soon as the Quap is gone. A lot of reasons why you might want to watch her.
Yep. One good thing about the Broodmother change is that the CS differential is not obfuscated anymore, so...
Well, not on the laning stage.
Not on the laning stage. But this is... Like, otherwise Phantom Lancer might have a couple of extra ones. Not that he's the easiest spider.
I'd say otherwise Phantom Lancer might have a bunch less ones. Can you imagine laning PL against previous Broodmother?
Oh god, no.
I can, and it's not pretty. So no, I disagree.
Either way. The point is, like, those are true CS numbers. Or is who is the...
oh, ZZQ.
Alright. The audio off for you too? Is that just me?
Sorry?
I think the audio was off a bit.
Could have been. Yeah, I mean, I've got about a second delay on you as well, so there's more things off for me. I don't mind too much. I'm just rolling with the punches here. And now,
It's a bit weird.
easy rotation for the Death Prophet. This bottom tower is now completely abandoned. Ursa, he was still hanging around, but really thinks better of it. There's nothing to be gained here.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
try
at
to
the
reload
very
this.
least, like, Irving and Katyu are going to tank this no problem, but that's almost 2 extra waves for the Ursa. And a little bit of annoyance for LBZS.
Landing in the back. Alright, I reloaded stream again, and audio seems to be synced up with what's actually happening on screen again, so a little bit disconcerting.
That's always nice.
There's a smoke out Pikachu. Smoke will actually break. Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, Shiro was walking past.
Just in range.
On his way back to the bottom lane, hitting some creeps, not minding the Mars, who's turning right back around. He has an
From though,
enrage
this
as well,
no-
his jump.
Ooh, okay. He's in rage. Walk away so he can get to defend himself. Meanwhile, mid Jiaofu, there's a bunch of spiders here. Bring him down. The ult from the Sonic Wave. Goodbye. Death Prophet, maybe, maybe not. The haste stream comes through. He's still ticking, but he's not ticking enough. The last nuke coming through, though. Dalmay somehow finds the range.
Excellent,
Well.
and yeah, because we are so focused on the bottom lane, look at that line of green dots stretched around the minimap. That's Dolme preparing for the mid rotation
Yeah,
and coming in like a race car.
this is my area now. Irving is there, though. Has the arena to work with. Scattered out by the Chances creeps and no way to really sneak in. Try and get some retaliation here, so this tower will just go down unanswered.
Well, nicely done for Phoenix. And that was all going down while we were watching the bottom tower. So yeah, Irving having to tank the tower there does have consequences in the end. And now the Broodmother Dolme has free reign of this bottom, or sorry, this top side racks. Yeah, like the end shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But at least she tanks it. Dolme gets out, lives to farm another day. Catch you? That's bait, says Dolme. Would be correct.
Kind of sad for Task to play so defensively at the moment.
Yeah, another problem is a little bit that he didn't have anyone to rotate on in mid because of course the pop
Oh,
is never a
God.
kill.
It's one nuke and one run of attacks from the spider army.
Yeah. After landing stage, Broodmother is exactly the same again.
Yeah. Still very, very tough to deal with, especially, oh god, just running into people. One run of spells, 2 run. What the hell? It's. Try to go for the snowball save, but just not enough. At least they cleaned through some of these spiders. Damn. That just basically
Yeah,
means
bro.
that you can't be where any webs are at the moment.
Yep. And this Mars is desperately trying to shadow the Broodmother, but she has already been unshackled. These two towers are down, and that means that this belt of webs is stretching all the way across the dire side of the map. And this is the best way to play Broodmother. You have the most farm on the map. You are a solo killer, so the enemy always has to be together, and you're always just taking their camps as well.
Yeah.
The net worth differential is going to quickly start ticking up. Irving has to find something, and the only thing they keep on finding is ZZQ.
Can't even find him here. Sonic Wave catches a couple here. Planet looking to bring down Zhao Fu. Will be able to finish the job. Safe to catch you here. He's competing for the last hit. Dash getting it instead, so even if you're together, it doesn't really help if the other team also combos up together. So this is just incredible map pressure there from Phoenix, and LBZS. There's no way they can respond at the moment.
Yeah, they did. They're only, and they have to get to this plan B immediately, as their only chance in this game is the Phantom Lancer. If they get the peel online, the Broodmother can't necessarily fight him because she can't necessarily find him. Yeah. Nice combo there.
Why is there no Ice Blast there? Well, because he's not level 6 yet.
Mm-hmm.
Another issue. Guess he can hold his own at least against the spiders.
Irving's pretty okay here. He's the only one who doesn't die solo, I believe. Well, the PL probably wouldn't die either, but he'd be running away while not dying.
Yeah.
Pipe for the Brood. Welcome to lags. They have never really left us. Dash has such a free game now. Somebody else is doing all the map pressuring. It means that even if he's a little bit fragile, he is never really at risk.
Looking for Dash here. Snowball comes
not be able to
across.
kill him.
Okay, maybe with the shots connected. The tag team top of Phantom Lancer. Caster's Curse.
Well.
Irving, there's lags as you were talking about. Some of these spiders still standing with the brambles coming through. Irving will not be safe inside his arena. Did not have enough burst to actually clean through these big spiders. The region's too much. So it's a 1-for-1 trade across the map. Position 2 for Pulse 1. But this tower is already being pressured very heavily. The big spider army makes this very awkward.
If they get this is going to pretty much slam the door on LBZS's supports ever getting done anything in this game. They're going to take the outpost, and with that, most of the free experience that LBZS was getting up until this point. And the supports were so underleveled already. At the very least, they have 6 now.
Yeah, with that Ice Blast, it should make getting kills a lot easier.
Shiro, is he thinking about Roche? There's a medallion delivered for the Enchantress just now. Yep, he is. And there's... What's LBZS going to do? They don't even have an Ice Blast right now.
No. I mean, it's coming off cooldown, right? It's very low. But it's just falling incredibly fast, right? Between the minus armor, the Ursus, and Iron Strength. Spider's helping out for a moment too. It's... I mean, we've been questioning Phoenix's draft a little bit, but I guess
because
just
the Mars was supposed to stop off the snowball from the Broodmother, but yeah, if you just let her take top tower like that.
Yeah, if you just let her play super fast and leverage that laning power immediately.
I gotta say, Dolmen's also played this very impressively.
Alright, 1-for-1 exchange here, just enough damage to be through that Shadow Realm even. Get Planet, but lose Zhao Fu in turn. Meanwhile, their own jungle is just taken over by the Brood, and it's her, but also Shiro hanging around top, because it's very safe for him to be there at the moment.
And it closes off the entire left side of the map for LBZS. They cannot go out there, they have to extend into the Radiant jungle. There's so much farm on this map that would be available if only they could get to it. But Phoenix says no.
They have to try and kick the Broodmother out somehow. Yeah. But the two of them, it's going to be a bit tough. They're having to retake their outposts. There's Shiro, silenced up. Snowball coming through. Good place to shut off, perhaps. There's Yule to kite out that ultimate. He's trying to get to a position where he can jump away, but he does not get to. Zhao Fu dies to the spiders. He gets rid of them though. The jump across the arena and the low ground at the same time. Marissa finds that right angle. Dolme distracted by the outpost is looking for actual hero kills. Yakacho being blocked off. The snowball not quite saving them from the damage, but just delaying the deaths at the very least. Self-Yule's healing back up, but it's too much. 5 against 1. I only got that Aegis kill and the spider army, I guess, but not even that valuable these days. Money-wise, at least.
Yeah,
Oh,
it really
man.
isn't. At least killing the spiders allows them to fight at all.
Yeah.
But that's brutal, and you're buying space for this Phantom Lancer right now, but space comes at a premium versus it Broodmother.
That's like we're in Singapore.
He
Or
has his
something,
diffusal.
trying to build a house. It's not really gonna be cheap.
This
60
spider's
minutes
hoarding
in.
all the real estate, man.
That's crazy.
What a boomer.
夜眼中塔
Well, we're doing a good job just building up and maintaining a huge spider army, but Irving said no here, showing off the blink dagger. With the combo, that's enough to bring it down. At this point, he has silenced all the stuff in the back. The spear comes out, just hold Planet in place for the nukes to come and finish him off. So
下塔正受
I
到
don't want to say it's a free kill, but this, because they still lose a tower for it. Next trying to go for the deny, but unable to do so. At least they get something here. And as long as, I mean, getting these tier, or other tier towers is one thing. Going high ground though is a different question, because there is that solution to the spider army right now. So you can nuke it down, you can stop this ability for Phoenix to get free damage in on the towers essentially.
Yeah, so what we're going to be looking for Phoenix here is most likely a BKB on the Quap, a BKB or a Basher, or a Blink Dagger if they want to be wild on the Ursa. Because at some point they're going to have to jump for at least an entrance kill. I don't think they're going to quite be able to hold their, or to attack the high ground, excuse me, by just sieging up into it. They're too melee heavy.
Oh, there it is. To find a spear onto Dolme. With the follow-up, Zhao Fu doesn't have the ultimate to work with though, and Dolme pretty damn tanky. Only Catcher there to follow up. Ah, they did not think this one through, or did they? They still get it. There's a few too many people coming through, and Phoenix unable to defend them. Even though it looked for a second like they might be able to, but no ultimate either on Quap, unable to push them away.
Yep, she
Very
kept
valuable go.
the spider alive for a little bit by silencing the Tusk there, but there wasn't actually any damage output onto him, and the spider could not escape the arena. So as soon as the arcade was over, Tusk just comes back in and finishes off the kill.
Keep following and catch you. Did give his life for the cause, but
Good
do
cause.
that. Planet sets up a free kill for the dash.
我可是痛苦专家。
There's a little bit of a steal there. She did that all by herself.
Yeah.
Well, let her have it. Meanwhile, the cop's like, well, she can afford to use Scepter. She don't need no kills.
God. Be out. No way to cancel that. Good call there, but catch you. You're not safe here. You better get the hell out. Don't look at ZZQ funny. It's really going to help you. He's TPing, and again, there's no cancel. So just TP out, lol. Welcome to the boxy school of escaping team fights.
Yes. So far, they are only apprentices, though.
Yeah.
Boxy is the true master of that particular education.
God.
What a guy. I like watching Sumail, but it just doesn't feel quite the same, does it? I hope he's doing okay. Value D
Shout out
wards.
to Boxy.
天辉
Yeah,
下
shout out to
塔
Boxy.
正受到攻击。
And here's the tanky team fighting brood.
Yep.
She is so hard to bring down, and with these spiders she has so much punching power that she doesn't really need to deal damage up until this point.
Yep.
Orchid, not really necessary either. Quap's got that covered.
If Irving is not there to instantly kill the spider army, they go on somebody, they just even like 1 or 2 rounds right clicks at this point was enough to just severely damage wherever they go on. and just straight up kill heroes like Kachu and certainly the Ancient Apparition.
Well, he has been hugging his tier 3s for a while now.
Yep, as he should. The Phantom Lance, at least he's still farming. Highest net worth on the Dire side. Snipping on the heels of the Queen of Pain. So the longer this game goes, the more of a chance that has have to stabilize further, but looks like he's trying to run him down at the same time down bottom as the rest of his team is smoked up. But yeah, Phantom Lancer got out. Shiro does as well. There's a scan coming through, I believe, from the Dire side, not catching anything.
And Blink is very nice versus Mars Tusk. All of these spells have some wind up, so you're very unlikely to get your Blink Dagger cancelled. Another counter smoke. Dolme is moving straight on in, they're flanking him really well.
A bit of a problematic position here, but still Dolme on the side of the edge of the arena. Ice Blast connects, and that's Dolme going down. Shiro trying to trade here. Both reports already dead on the side of LBZS, but Shiro, he has to leave, but he cannot. There's a Yules, there's a TP cancel. Now he doesn't have Enrage anymore. He is going to be dead. Deader than a dead guy is what he is right now, as they trade 2 cores for 2 supports. LBZS going back here, Gibbs.
A doornail, Dragon Drop. It's a doornail. You're thinking of. But yeah, that
I
was
meant what I said,
unexpected.
Gibbs. I'm sticking to it.
I see. Well, and Phoenix was sticking through their aggression there, but Great Smoke that doesn't end up doing so well. They actually whiff pretty much all of the Quap ultimates, so they don't even push anyone off of Dolme. And while he is very tanky, being caught in that arena is still a death sentence for him. And now Wishing,
especially with that Ice Pass on top, and Planner looks like he's gonna be down as well. Not go for TP out play. The description was afraid of Irving following up anyway and cancelling that. So yeah, 40 chests maybe, you know, just whiffing the smoke, being caught out, and then just counter-initiating. It definitely worked out well that time. That's a much-needed boost for LBZS, especially because they can get another tower off the map. Mid-tier 1 still standing for the Radiant side, which is always nice.
And we're nearing a crucial point for Phoenix now, where their BKB is coming up on Shiro. They have one on the Quap as well, and they're going to have to make some kills with this. Blink Dagger on that Ursa as well. Because if they don't, this Phantom Lancer is making really good progress towards a heart. Once he has a heart, you're not going to be able to kill him anymore.
Not easily anyway. Like, it's where the jankiness or the draft starts to falter a little bit, because how do you control up the Phantom Lancer?
Yep.
Once he's so tanky, like you can still kill him with yeah, if you have some spiders perhaps, or if you have the Ursa kind of being able to man fight him. But in order for that to happen, you need to lock him down somehow, and there's just no hero that can do that in this game. You can always Manta Star, you can always Doppelganger.
The Dark Willow definitely not sufficient there.
No.
And this time bomb was always ticking away in the background.
Yeah.
It's taken just 2 deaths over on Dolme to make this game suddenly feel risky for Phoenix again when they have been so dominant.
Yeah.
Is building into a Hex though. If they manage to find a real Phantom Lancer with that, that's going to be trouble. Oh, also fun times if we end up having a Lance bounce. Yeah. This outpost changed hands, what, 3 times in the past minute?
At least, yeah. Outpost gaming is, of course, no way for LBZS to take the outpost on the other side. Can still be a bit tricky to just stand in these webs, but if they're all together at this point, they're confident enough that they're able to take this fight. They've shown that time and time again. And Dolme, he cannot. It's not a free game for him anymore. Like, he cannot just be anymore and not be punished anymore.
Oh, he's been kicked out of the jungle decisively now. This is the first time that he's had to show on waves, and he's had to be doing it for a while now. It's a very dangerous point.
They're just going straight in here. Sure, being caught. But with the zone, BKB is ready to fight. Ice Blast comes across. Irving on the run, but he'll be brought down. 2-for-1 trade. LBZS just goes straight into the thick of things. Exorcism still going. Not sure if you want to chase down that Death Crop instead.
遭攻击，
They get the Ancient Apparition first. They were ready for this rotation. They had spiders scouting this out, and pretty sure LBZS saw them. They weren't. I mean, they're not invis or anything. Still decide to keep going. Take this Roche fight.
I'm almost surprised that they did that aggressively. LBZS definitely has the better area control here with the Mars, with the AA, than compares anyone who's in the pit. I thought they were going to wait until Phoenix took the Roche and contest it instead, but they go for the aggressive play, and I think they get caught off guard by the BKB on Shiro here. Of course, he was very close to it already. This was a risk regardless, but the fact that he gets it off means that they get to turn the fight over on Phoenix.
It's the second Roche too, so it gets the free shot. 1.5 seconds on Rage on the jump.
Huge power spike. That's a dispel as well, a reminder. So any kind of dispellables that are currently on him.
Look at this though. He cannot bed fight the Phantom Lancer. And spear off to the side as the supports are coming in. They do find nothing. Link away comes through on Shadow Realm, and Shiro though is still taking damage. A TP out from Kachu as more and more of Phoenix's heroes filter in. Well, movement force at the very least. Wishing still gets to farm the jungle a little bit, and he gets out. So I guess the question is, does this Aegis and Cheese and Shard in the hands change the dynamic of the game now?
A little bit, but that's just because the Phantom Lancer doesn't quite have the Shard combination up yet. I think by the time they arrive at the high ground, LBZS will have that tool in hand, and then it's going to be even harder for Phoenix to get a good jump, because that's what they need. They need a jump in order to take this base. They can't stand the PL illusion spam. And they won't have a lot of time for it now, because the lances are going to be chipping down at them. AC coming from Quap. I like this build. Like, he could go a Mjolnir after as well, but this is purely meant to tank up his team versus all the physical damage and help them push down these towers as well. They're in a shove kind of moment.
T1 broke down, 3 minutes left on the Aegis. Phoenix really trying to get the most out of this timing right now, cleaning up what else they can.
Does the PL have a shard yet? I didn't see it. So that makes two of us.
Want to fight
So
this
that's the big
one
turning moment.
by the looks of it.
Suggests the shard is up.
Phoenix wants not in this position at the very least to claim the high ground. A little bit tough for LBZS to get up there.
Yeah, we've seen previously how that can backfire.
Yes.
But Irving's gonna put his shield up there. There we go, yeah, shard up, that's why they moved forward. Now PL's going to get to finish his hard too, and that means that even though the game is 10k in favor of Phoenix right now, it doesn't matter all that much.
The kind of lineup that I want to say you have to finish by like 25 minutes or so, but it's getting a lot tougher now. We've touched on that with the Phantom Lancer.
You scale very well. Your supports can definitely get
gone
direct.
on. BKB comes through, and the ult just enough. Unable to dodge it.
There's your jump. Now they can go.
It's the entry kill that you were talking about. Utilizing the rest of the Aegis. Still more than a minute on the counter, so if they want to force it out, they need to do it right now. They're just threatening him a little bit, bringing him low, making him think twice about continuing to just stand there to the way at the tower. So for now, this is still standing. It's bouncing. It's nice how you can just spam illusions like that. As the snowball comes through. Shiro is going to lose the Aegis here. Looks like he very well might. Inside the arena, BKB from Dash, he goes out, but Dolme, he does not have a BKB. Caught by the Ice Blast. He should be taken out any moment. Actually, Ice Blast didn't quite catch him, so it has to be fishing to finish him off. They did lose Catch You, but now looking for more. Shiro unable to take a fight. The spear not hitting. Irving does not get the connection on the tower. Dash gets to walk away. The yields cancel on the TP, so they'll have to settle for ZZQ as a secondary kill. Really wanted a Quap though.
I thought they had her.
Yeah, it was just not the best angle. Fortunately, but still, I mean, it's a successful high ground defense. The tower's still standing. Claimed the Aegis. They didn't really get punished. Didn't force out a buyback on Death Prophet either.
And now once again, Phoenix have to go back and get their next round of items. This squad really needs to get a Mjolnir up and running, to put on the Ursa, to put on herself, to put on the Spider, anyone. And Ursa as well, Abyssal Blade, it's their only possibility of killing Wishing right now. He is going for a refresher though.
What?
That looked like what he had queued up, didn't it?
Pay attention, I was just like, yeah, Abyssal Blade makes sense. But refresher? Yeah. We're talking about Ursa here, right?
Yeah, we're talking about Ursa. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing.
There's no way he gets refresher. There's just no way. He's not gonna have the mana to use it. If
like,
it
I'm
like,
very confused as well, but that was... I saw what I saw. Look at that.
Doesn't make... how much is the refresher? 300 mana or some shit?
Yeah.
Phantom Lance hits him 3 times or so, and he casts 1 or 2 spells. He's gonna be out of mana.
I guess he's really counting on that cheese, huh?
Either that or he's just trolling us. I'm not thinking he's just trolling.
Should be Abyssal. I mean, I know that's gonna be hard to find a real Phantom Lancer, but it's kind of...
Xiaofu, yeah, they have enough catch by the looks of it. I think you'd be safe right outside your base there, but this is a bit of a no man's land. Caught between 2 cliffs.
Deso Mars as well. This is really going to amp up TPL's damage output, especially seeing as that Phoenix are going to be fighting pretty clumped. It's very likely to hit a couple of heroes with that God's Rebuke at once. Apply the debuff to all, and then the PL can go to town. Still waiting on that Hex from Dolme. I think Dolme has to buy out for it. Especially since they're not getting an Abyssal on the Ursa, apparently. Like, the double BKB is the utility that I see here. Double BKB, double Enrage, but that's your entire mana pool.
Well, there's the heart on Wishing.
So now if you don't kill him in one go, you don't kill him at all.
That's
and honestly, that's...
So.
Yeah. It's very hard for them to kill him in one go already. Their burst damage is okay, but not amazing. Now this poor Enchantress. How often have we seen
though? And now Shiro comes in, he's looking for Irving. BKB does not protect him, but the Invis does. Now, where's Wishing at right now, actually? He's just jumping back and forth with Doppelganger, just waiting on these BKBs. Planet off to the side. Dolme now looking to go in onto Axe. Shiro's up there as well. It's getting a bit interesting here, to say the least. But it looks like LBZS will be able to walk their way out. Still chasing on this Dark Willow, trying to keep Wishing honest, but the arena finally comes out. ZQ caught in the middle, but they want more. They want to bring down this pesky Fairy Lady, and they do indeed. That ultimate comes through together with Shiro to finish off the Death Prophet, but Wishing, he's just still full health. There's no way they can actually engage into them. They just have to kite, but Shiro, he's out of mana. He's out of friends. He eats cheese now, is Wishing. Alright, he's alone against 4. Maybe it's a little bit too much, as it turns out. The kiting actually ended up working out. I'm not sure how this fight was possible. It was a bit...
They really worked around Phantom Lancer there. Like, excellent position from the Broodmother as well, engaging from the backside. And then Shiro holding that cheese until the last moment. He's just... Wow.
It's gonna be a set of racks at least now. Yell has buyback, but there's no point using it without the Mars, without the Death Prophet. I think 2 sets
LBZS
of racks,
really
honestly, with the spider.
getting
armor.
outplayed there.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think
it's all the
Wishing
way to
kind
do
of
it,
forgot that he
Oh, no.
was on his own. Oh no,
Jiaofu,
indeed.
he is dead. Now the buybacks come out. Ancient Apparition back with the Ice Blast. Here it comes. It connects on 2 cores. Where's the follow-up?
Margin
Only a
5
couple
seconds.
of illusions here. BKB jump across. ZZQ in the front. Might be able to get him here. No heals this time. They get 1. They get 2. Dolby! Caught by Irving! Just in the nick of time. Punished for going for the second set of racks, but they did get these buybacks out. But hey, look at that. He actually went for a fresh eye. Shinami Timbers or something.
Yeah.
Let me surprise. Anyway,
Does
I was
not
gonna
currently
say.
have mana for it. In illustration of our previous point. I mean, if he can get it off, then yes, the double BKB
Yeah, sure.
is actually quadruple in rage, depending on how much mana you manage to pump into yourself. But
the actual ultimate doesn't cost mana, but of course a jump on the minion range does. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
they need to take this fight. Buyback became available for the Brute. Yeah, they did see Shiro though. Can he jump his way in there to steal the Aegis, steal the cheese? The ultimate comes through, pushes them away, and he gets it! Phoenix! Dash stealing that Aegis! Shiro,
From
wants
Yonder
to cut
as well, he's got
around.
to-
Catch playing with him right now, so trying to bring down the Quap a second time. Spear off to the side. Didn't quite catch her. They did catch the Dark Willow, so she's dead. Shiro trying to TP out, unable to do so either. And he is dead. Down for the count. No buyback. He does not have the money. LBZS do not necessarily know this. With the Aegis, at least she wasn't able to hold on to it, but taking that away from Wishing, who just bought back himself, gives them a chance in the next coming fight. There is a cheese though, so it's a Phantom Lancer in this game that might as well be in Aegis, because he should be able to get it off.
I see no scenario in which he doesn't.
Yeah.
天辉中塔已被摧毁。
Still has 2 lives as opposed to 3. Do they have Scotties and whatnot on the side of Phoenix?
天辉之
I don't believe so.
Nope.
人面加倍。
No way to really
No, we have
limit
a
the regen.
refresher on the Ursa. He used
yes.
it as well, by the way. We didn't get see it get used, but he at least he had the mana because he wasn't fighting Wishing.
Oh boy. Also have the sigil, by the way. Looks like it looks like a tusk head. Wow, I have not seen that cosmetic before. It's pretty cool though. Wishing. Oh, but this one he just used Mana Star now, hexed up, but snowball save from Kachu onto the spiders too, so not forced to go back up the high ground. This is why we love seeing that guy on heroes like Tusk. Oh,
Absolutely.
amazing.
At the very least, Phoenix do not get punished too heavily for their shenanigans in the Roche pit here. Only 1 set of racks, and it's the one that they took earlier on the opposite side as well.
Must still have the Fade approach. You see that, right?
That would be pretty wild.
I mean,
It
sometimes
is
you just forget,
entirely
right?
possible. Yeah, sometimes you just forget, but also Mars, I don't think he has any mana items this game, and you're a little bit of extra into. You're still a very, very mana hungry hero, so move speed, mana. I could see him still having held on to that for a long time. I believe you.
All right. Well, refreshers coming off cooldown. Gibbs, they want to fight. Smoke on
Let's
smoke
go.
action. There's LBZS. Ooh, very volatile. There's a lot of buybacks on either side. Mars and DP have it though. Because on the side of the map they do have that home field advantage. They can rejoin the fight a bit quicker if it comes to that.
They're looking for a pick off like the AA would be their best target, but he actually has a Ghost Scepter now as well. Kachu does too.
Burst them down.
又加一个。
Perhaps with that magic damage from the Quap and maybe a nuke from Dolmy. Right, it's a horn on Shiro. Oh, picked up by Shiro.
And I just want to restate this in case anybody forgot. Sure, that says 11k for Phoenix on top, but this game is even for them at the best. Then positioning up here is a risk.
There's a very specific way that they need to take team fights. We saw it once. Well, they claimed that mid-set of Rex.
Kiting a Phantom Lancer is what they need to do.
Yeah.
The
Not
very least it
impossible,
counts
but it's
for
also
TP.
not particularly easy. This guy now planet. Go for the initiation. And Stahl nicely done on that ultimate here, forced out the way. Irving with the arena just to zone him out. BKB's exchanged. Not the best ultimate there as the shield is gone. Leading the charge for X.
Sure, did not have to use his BKB.
Going back in, Kachu, he's dead immediately. Now Shiro with his own BKB is able to hold on to it. Now going on to Irving, trying to bring him down. That ultimate coming through from Dash. Now the refresher's coming through. A second one to finish off the Death Prophet. But Shiro still dies. Bybek's coming through. As Phoenix, they have to cut their losses. Lose the Enchantress here on the way. Still holding on to the
single
Buyback
time.
on the Ursa.
This time the Entry wasn't even trying to throw herself at them. But yeah, again there, Shiro very much able to output the damage until his BKB charge is running out for his Wishing, and he just does not have the damage to kill first Irving, then Wishing. It's simply too much.
Killed the two Eaters with buybacks. It did force him out though, none available right now. On the side of LBZS, 1.5 minutes left on the clock for Wishing. Not too far away in the Enchantress, not that it matters all that much. Doesn't look like they'll be able to force out the buyback from the Ursa, so Phoenix will have come out ahead at the end of that fight.
They do. If they kill any of the heroes over, or like anyone over on LBZS at all, they're going to be able to take this game. But especially now that LBZS is moving forward again, they're going to have Phantom Lancer in the front line, and he is the very hardest to bring down.
And by the time they get across, you'll have buyback again, so you can play aggressively. Ancient Upper also has it available, which can be useful at times. Buyback into an Ice Blast at the right time, just to help finish off the kill.
Ionis for the Death Prophet, Refresher Quap. This is a refresher that I very much stand behind.
Oh, yeah. Jet the refresher shot from Roche earlier.
And we saw that used to devastating effect.
Yeah. One ult to finish up Mars, another to finish up Death Prophet. You all caught on that. It's not the biggest amount of pure damage here as the game goes on. Everyone gets tankier, but if you have it twice, you can still feel it. So again, we have a smoke.
It doesn't flop, so neither of those are real.
Yeah.
We have seen teams mess that up in the past, but
Sometimes
this
you're
one was
jumpy,
pretty clear. It's two of them. And they're angling for the back lines.
Could be good. Wrap around. Catch Irving or something. Oh, Zhao Fu. There we go. Goodbye. Don't want to take this fight. That's the buyback. Ice Blast's gonna come downtown. Uptown, I guess. The silence over on Dash. He is forced to BKB. Meanwhile, there's the Ice Blast coming through. Actually TP'd onto the outpost. This is right there in the middle of the fight, and the arena catches a couple. ZZQ gonna be down first, buying back, same as the Dark Warrior Shiro with Refresher completely out of mana, has to pop the BKB and just run away with that. Still takes a lot of damage here. Axe with the chase, blink across. Shiro also able to blink away and able to maintain damage output on him. What was that? 2-for-1 trade, BKBs. Spells being used everywhere. The Refresher put on cooldown for the Ursa. Who won that fight? I guess LBZS slightly.
Slightly, yes. 2 buybacks forced out.
Arena's very low cooldown, so is the Ice Blast. Exorcism not so much, so gonna be missing this one.
Also get the tower right now, and Phoenix once again. They don't have the best wave pusher. They're going to have to show in pushing out these waves once again. It's a lot of time bought for yourself, in which you can close that gold gap, and it's only a gold gap. By now, LBZS are starting to slowly but surely get ahead, even though the gold is not in their favor just yet.
Though still the game's on a knife's edge. You can very easily imagine a fight like that where they don't get the Ancient Apparition, the one hero that has buyback, but maybe they get the Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's not that arena that eventually makes them have to retreat from that engagement.
This Ursa is going to be working on an MKB next, but he already has not been the greatest at fighting the Phantom Lancer. He's still going to have to do it. That's an Octarine core in the works for the Dark Willow. Not bad, girl. Get that dough.
Not bad. Go for Roshi. I mean, and just when you thought that PL couldn't get tanky, finishes up with Skadi and the AC completed on his friend the Mars. But as Roshan's going down very damn quickly here. I think it was the last hit from the raid, I'm not quite sure, as it's still taking this fight. ZQ got the refresh up Blink, but he's still taken out! He's taken out to the Ice Blast! Quab is down for the count, Planet running, CZQ cancel teleport again! Both these supports being caught, but okay. Able to get the Blink out somehow, but Planet, no way out.
Just buying time now.
They're all dead, Kips, and they're not coming back. They don't have buyback. None of these 3 heroes have it. They know about the supports. They were back in our previous engagement. But Quab is just missing money right now. If LBZS force it, they can take this engagement. Sure, Ursa has Aegis, Refresher Shard. But he's just one guy. And he has a Brute Mother for support. How did they take this fight then?
Phantom Lancer is many guys. I don't know. Like in general, you win the fight by bringing more people, and that's exactly what LBZS are going to have here. So
do 1-for-1 though, 1v1. That's a bit different here, but they're unable to finish off X. He's still alive now. Shiro caught between the rock and between some ice and a hard place. Either way, he's brought down once, and he will be brought down twice. He can refresh however much he wants to. As soon as that enrage times out, he will be dead. And this is it. That's the game. Just like that. They lose. I think they get the last hit on Roshan with that Ice Blast too. It looked pretty close. Unfortunately, I can't read the Chinese characters on screen. But yeah, I mean, taking an engagement afterwards, just Quab taken out especially. Not having buyback.
And this clock from the Phantom Lancer was ticking throughout the entire game. Even with the brilliant start that Dolme had, it only really took 2 engagements for Phoenix to lose their grip on the game enough that LBZS could drag it back. And wishing... has he died a single time?
I cannot recall, no. He died once, yeah, he died once when he was alone against 4.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Brought back now, and okay, turn around to fight, sure, enrage for the moment, but speared off to the side, Ice Blast bouncing across, and he is down again. Dolme just cut to pieces by Irving. It's not just the small spiders, it's the big spider as well. As the GG is forced out, LBZS take game number 1. What a game it was, Kips.
Quite the game indeed, and again, LBZS always had the draft advantage there. If this game went this late, this was always going to be the outcome, but I don't think either of us expected to get here by the route that we did.
No, it was definitely a little bit more bumpy than it could have been, perhaps. But yeah, wishing... Yeah, it was the one time he died, and that was about it. He was able to maintain his item progression. He was just getting tankier and tankier and tankier. And again, with the kind of draft that Phoenix had, they had one very specific way that they could take team fights. And the moment something goes wrong there, the moment you lose a hero that you really need, the moment you get caught with one too many heroes inside the arena, it all just falls apart. Right? Even if you have Aegis, even if you just taken Roche, it was just a really good engagement there from LBZS into it, knowing that, we can get the Ice Blast on all of them. We can probably burst them down. Yeah, we can even get in the Quab. Maybe a bit lucky there. She refreshed and blinked out, but still take into the Ice Blast then as a result. It's pretty damn cool as we head back into some of these highlights here.
Yeah, first rotation from Dolme.
Yeah.
We were all so occupied with the bottom tower, and by we I mean both the casters as well as LBZS, that Dolme got to take over the top half of the map. Here, this couple of snowball saves were late, and in this window of the game they really only got ZZQ. ever.
Yeah. There's a time where they just had no real estate. They had to try and find farm wherever they could, and they had a couple of pickups here. This one was pretty damn strong.
Cast a curse that one to heck him back.
Even Irving here, at this point he's only 2 points up into the crit. Unable to really deal with the spiders, just being caught out at the same time. 1-for-1 trades here and there. And this is a bit tough as well. 5 against 2, so...
And
all this wishing is coming.
Decided.
Yeah.
It's incredible, but yeah. Domi, he's going for the 5 Greaves build. It's pretty expensive and he can't actually afford a BKB before Irving really gets up to steam. That's going to cost him his life several more times this game.
Yeah, at the moment Mars was able to just deal with the spiders with just one spell. And not
Mars
just
AA, man.
not just the small spiders, like this arena, it's crucial that you're able to lock down the Broodmother if you ever want to kill her, so Irving just yeah, pulling his weight there. Alright, this was a bit awkward. God of Garp and BKBs, not just on Shiro but also on Dash actually.
Irving does not get to stand. And as soon as Irving's out, LBZS needs to be out. Like, he is their fight condition. If they don't get a good arena, they don't get a good fight. And you can see that again with the incoming push on bottom.
Death Prophets is unable to finish up the tower though, just because of this constant proc, all of these illusions. That spear, if that hits on the tower, that's also dead Quap.
Yep.
It's gonna have to settle for CZQ again. Whoops. Yeah, this should fight the Dane. Losing, I think, because they kite around, wishing, just finish up the rest of them one by one.
Yeah. Wishing really just dodging and weaving here. Death Prophet's already dead. He's going for a Shiro right now, but Quap finishes off the Tusk. And now she's going for Irving over on the side. Meanwhile, Shiro just keeps Wishing busy.
Yep.
Now, oh hey, hello.
Used everything that he had available there. Spider legs with the jumps, with the...
This is a beautiful catch.
Oh yeah.
Dolme just a little bit greedy.
That jump though, it's pretty damn sick as well. These Roche fights have been decisive here in a number of different ways.
Yep. We don't actually, didn't actually get to see the first one here. This is where they get a pretty rubbish arena, I believe. Or actually, at this point, the arena is already down.
It's already on cooldown. They still go in.
Double Quap ults.
But they still lose Shiro. Like they force the buybacks. Not able to really get much more out of that. Still lose Shiro. Still come out ahead because the buyback was not forced, but in this engagement, yeah. Let's take a look at that arena again. Yes. Pretty good. Yeah, arena catches 3
on the Quap.
people. Ice Bars coming through. Connects over on Shiro.
Got Shiro as well.
CZQ, yeah. And Wishing, he just gets a click that's the inside the arena. Like they can't leave for a long time. Yeah, there it
and
is.
then
Look at
finally,
taking out
refresh, blink, shatter. Of course, if you get the AA debuff on you before you you BKB, then it persists.
Yep. Oh man.
Wild game.
Wild indeed. Very fun one though.
Yeah. It's like I'm still a little bit hesitant about that the refresher on the other side. Like I can see why he thinks that this is a possible solution. I can see why he thinks so too, but he didn't sell it to me yet, let me put it that way. This is going to be a hard game regardless. I'm not sure if he can itemize out of it at all. But this way, staying in the fight and outlasting, well, Wishing's other heroes might not have been the move in favor of just bursting people. But
I mean, I guess the idea was to just be able to survive through Wishing hitting him while he's sadly taking care of all the other heroes on LBZS, right? So I can understand it in that sense, but I think there are other winning strategies.
Yeah.
I mean, could have gone for.
I'd like to see him try it again, but I'm not sure if he will.
We'll see. This game number 1 has come to a close. LBZS, the 1-0 victory here. Phoenix with their backs against the wall. Again, they're sitting at 5-0 overall in the standings in the groups right now. But that does not mean that they're completely safe when it comes to promotion to the upper division just yet. So, gonna take a break. We'll see how it goes in game 2 soon. Stay tuned.
还剩10秒，还剩5秒，请夜眼方挑选英雄。还剩10秒，请天辉方挑选英雄。 还剩10秒，还剩5秒。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for Phoenix to play a Phoenix. At least it's on the right
请
team.
天
So
辉方挑选英
no
雄
nightmare casting scenario in this one. LBZS with a very strong performance in game number 1. Now laying down the gauntlet as well. Irving on the Mars. I mean, Wishing did get the MVP from the Chinese production casters, but I honestly would have given it to Irving just because he was a linchpin. He was dealing with the spiders. He was dealing with the Broodmother. He was controlling them up with the arenas in very crucial ways
还剩
throughout
5
that
秒
game.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. The PL did his job, right?
Yeah, basically.
The Mars went above and beyond. But Phoenix are done with having any Broodmothers in their games. They tried it themselves. They did not get what they wanted, so instead it's a ban right now.
禁用英雄
Over on the other side, DK and Puck actually taken out. Wildly different bans from Europe, I might say.
Oh yeah.
Seen a lot of IO bans over there. Grimstroke.
Tusk still in the pool.
还剩
What do you think
10
about that,
天
Hero Kips?
辉方禁用英雄
I mean, Tusk underpicked, honestly. We saw him have that 69% win rate. And
Nice.
he doesn't even get banned a lot either, so he's just there. And another win on the board for Kachu in the previous map.
还剩10 秒
Didn't really get to show off the strengths of the Tusk. He missed a couple of saves as well.
还剩5秒
Yeah, but he also hit a few.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one where Snowball saved Wishing in front of the Radiant base. I remember that one. Also saving onto the spiders that were still inside the arena instead of snowballing his teammate into the high ground.
请天辉方禁用英
Not his
雄
best performance, but he
请
did have
夜
his
眼
moments.
方禁用英雄
He did, and I think that was at the lower end of the spectrum of what a Tusk can do for you. There's usually way more options. I guess the most important kill was that pop kill on the bottom lane.
Oh yeah.
And now this clockwork, like I may have gotten a little bit spoiled on the clockwork yesterday night, but Saxa pulled off I want to say a once in a lifetime kind of game on POS4 clockwork.
Okay.
And if anybody else can do it, at least in the games that we are casting right now, it is probably Planet. This man has been owning games to the point that his cores just buy BKBs, he buys a blink, he goes in. And on his clockwork, if he can hit a couple of hook shots, Grimstroke's a great target. You can really divide these team fights up. You can also really annoy the Mars within his own arena.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of options here for him.
Especially with the cogs, right? Because the spear goes on cogs, but if that happens inside an arena, you're just missing out on that extra damage that you're really looking for. That's there's some concerns that they might have if the clockwork pops off. Looking for the next ban right now, and it is the Phantom Lancer. So LBZS worried about putting ideas into Phoenix's head at the moment.
Yeah, they'd like to pick up their second support here. And with the Darkseer banned out, with the Deuce Jug banned out as well, PL would have been a very nice pick in this game for both of them. But there's the Tusk again. Very nice. You know, we've saw this effectiveness. We've seen it in the lane as well. Like you get a snowball into shards, and then the Mars gets to spear people into the shards as well. Combo it up with the bonk, and you've got yourself a nice hero salad.
还剩5秒
Just add some vinegar, you know.
Add some salt in case they aren't.
In case they aren't salty enough. Yeah. Or you just have to do this, make the salad a couple of times for them to get salty enough, you know. But yeah, still looking for the cores eventually in LBZS. Like, you need some sort of egg scrambler, some sort of egg hitter. I wonder if they could go for the Ursa there themselves.
Like LBZS right now have a lot of save for a possible Alina, a long range hitter. Phoenix themselves are most likely going to be looking for heroes that can get out of the arena. Wonder if they're thinking about grabbing up a Lifestealer here. You're going to deal decently well with the Mars in lane. You're going to always be able to walk out of the arena. The only problem is that with the Tusk on the field, there is already a BKB piercing stun, and you do not like that. Other option, Timbersaw. Already 2 strength heroes on the field. Not a lot of magic damage to finish off a Timbersaw yet either.
Yeah, but still room to pick that up, especially with the Grimstroke. You want some sort of single target, yeah, some sort of single target combo with that, be it a stun, be it something like Laguna Blade from the Lina that you mentioned. That's a distinct possibility there. Take that time to think about it. This is something that gets away from the task.
That is a different flavor. That looks to be a core tiny. Very, very hard hitting hero. Especially now that you get to keep the tree if you buy a shard.
He hits pretty damn hard, but he does not hit very fast unless you itemize into an AC and some other attack speed items, Echo Sabers or whatnot. Or you add solar crests and whatnot. In IO.
A lot of disable here, a lot of magic burst. Depending on if this is going to be a mid or a safe lane tiny, you're going to have this burst window where somebody like a Grimstroke can very much die. Once it does go back for the Death Prophet, she can also die.
Yes. If she doesn't, she maybe gets to live. Like if you do the Yules after the Spirit Siphon, you heal up quite a bit against a strength hero like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a while until you get to the point where you can survive that initial burst, because it's well past 1,000 damage. But yeah, still very similar draft from LBZS compared to last time. Now, Terrorblade. Ooh, that's your hard hitter right there. Mid tiny, I guess.
Yes. Mid tiny, possibility of offline tiny. Get that Faceless Void out of here. We don't want to see that. And there's a little bit of a bind now for LBZS. Most of the Terrorblade counters, apart from Draw Ranger, are AoE magical damage heroes. Think about, well, Lina again, but you could also think about the Zeus being a classic. There's Underlord in case you want to clear illusions. It's a lot harder for the Mars AoE to clear these illusions because they are so tanky. They have so much armor. If you want to do that, you could upgrade this Mars to carry and get yourself somebody to deal with the illusions in the mid game, but it'll leave you without much of a hope for the late game. Scaling into Terrorblade Tiny is just really not going to happen if you promote this Mars.
What about Leshrac here?
Yeah?
You can see that.
Lesh.
It's normally pretty good against illusion heroes for a while. Gets a bit tougher eventually once the Terrorblade gets super tanky.
They're actually banning out mids on LBZS, so they believe that this is an offlane tiny. I think that the Death Prophet is enough of a deterrent for the mid lane. I'm not sure if Phoenix thinks the same.
Curious. Don't have too much time to settle on a hero here, one way or the other. I mean, I guess if this is mid-tiny, they're happy with a Death Prophet matchup.
Yeah, like the tiny is not going to pop off, but he really also shouldn't die, and he can burst away pretty well. Yeah, there we have a Beastmaster. This could also still be a mid, but I'd like it offlane. Beastmaster Phoenix or Beastmaster Block, both are very, very good lanes traditionally. Whatever carry that LBZS is going to pick up now. What's left in the pool? Morph is out. Do you dare to drow? Do you dare to dream?
It would have to be...
This is a rough drow game, man.
It's very, very rough indeed. Like, you'd have to really believe in your team to save you, because there's a lot of jump. And
请选择
Okay.
你的英雄。
I like this hero a lot more. Like, if he's fast enough, he can dispel some of this disable. You can jump out of cogs, you can dispel the roar. Like, Zhao would just be food for 3 different heroes in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And with Clockwork Jump, with a tiny jump, and the Beastmaster running as well. So Slark is a lot more survivable in that sense. And they do have some good ways of enabling him. Like, they can have the Mars and the Death Prophet as the center of the team fight, so Slark is able to just weave in and out around the arena walls and what have you. That's the way that he wants to engage, right? He wants to go in, get a quick kill, build up some stacks, and then they turn and go on him. He just leaves, comes back a moment later. So I can see it working out.
That would be the ideal case.
That would be ideal, but
yeah, Slark, not a great win rate right now. Of course, his biggest advantage over the Terrorblade is that you're going to be very high agi in this fight. It's going to be hard to hit you down, and of course it's going to be very hard for the TB to actually sunder you in a man fight, because usually you get to pop your ult and become untargetable. But in terms of like the total gameplay, the Slark is going to have a hard time playing the game and getting involved at all until he gets a couple items up. I do think that LBZS can, that Phoenix can play this one faster here. The Slark pick definitely felt a bit forced.
it did, yeah. It's very much of a momentum-based hero as well. It's start to fall behind, gonna have a tough time contributing anything to fights, right? Unless you build Midas or something like that, you're gonna have a hard time farming creeps as well. Sure, you have your Q, but doesn't feel as good compared to some other heroes that are popular to build Battle Fury or Maelstrom very readily.
Well, we have seen Wishing pull out a favorable carry matchup just now. This time, he's going to have to pull a little bit harder, I think.
Only trying to cut trees.
Well, a lot harder these days.
Yeah.
Trees got a bit tougher. They don't just fall over as soon as you look at them
30
anymore.
秒后战斗开始。
Mar's still very much the king of deforestation, though. You pop down an ult, and the woods are gone. CCQ versus Kachu. Both of these heroes would love to fight level 1.
But indeed, Zhao Fu as well. We haven't talked about this.
I know the words here.
I like it. I like that they're all committing at the same time, so there's no
征战
possibility
号
for
角
deny from
响
Phoenix.
彻全场。
In Europe, we've seen a lot of mind games there with the party that thinks their rune is spotted immediately starting to work on the deny, so that by the time the sentry is down, you can quickly hit it.
Yep.
But ZZQ was pretty much on his own there.
It's the melee hero. It gets a bit tougher than dual range. But yeah, a bit of an advantage there for X as a result against this Tiny. Should be able to
Tiny
secure
should be
CS.
able to. Yeah. He gets quite a few of them. Can't really secure the entirety of the wave every single time, but he'll do well enough with his tree, and then later on, of course, he can start bursting the wave and retreating into the jungle for some extra farm over there.
A lot of spells exchanged up top. Of course, you're using that Metamorphosis early on. You can't really fight into that. But once it comes off cooldown, Irving should have a bit of an easier time in lane. Once it expires, I should say.
Kachu has immediately grabbed the creep wave. Honestly, I think the Clockwork was a little bit late to that. ZZQ could have definitely contested that, but instead, Kachu most likely going to be allowed to get his level 2 here by his laning partner. And then it's going to be, no, Irving takes it, okay. That's also allowed. As long as one of them gets level 2 and you don't share it to the point where, you know, the TP gets level 2 and you don't.
Yeah.
Sure, holding the point right now. I'm curious to see what he's going to go. I don't think that this is a lane where you're going to stay very long, so I don't expect the reflection point to come in. I expect to see them taking the fight to Irving, but I've been surprised by the lanes that carry sometimes decide that they're going to stay in, and usually they do know better than I do, so.
I mean, it's jungle farm is all nice and well, and if you do have enough points into the illusion making skill, you can do that very easily on the Terrorblade. But ideally, you wanna get that lane farm, big lane experience, and then just dip into the jungle a little bit later. Let's do it at the same time.
Wishing should have a decent lane here. Not amazing. He can get away from Force Load and purge it as well, of course. Yeah, Pointer and Reflection is up. Shira has decided he's fighting this one.
We'll see. Once Catcher gets a couple of extra levels, we might see some of these combos coming out. Fu can also think about rotating once Slack gets a little bit more self-sufficient. It's a bit of trouble there, Planet, with another Fire Spirit, but it's only level 1, so not really a crazy amount of damage. Fine. Wishing forced away, like until you hit level 6, lane can get a bit difficult as a slug. Catcher, dropping super low. Should be fine though, can salve up. Rocket Flare already used by ZZQ, so no way to cancel. Alright, 3.5 minutes in, Kips. Where's the first blood gonna be?
I knew you were going to ask that. I was actually kind of expecting it to be on the Grimstroke on bottom here. But I don't think he's going to overposition again. So
might very well be Shiro up top.
Shiro?
Conside the shards, he's being tagged. What? What?
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Catcher's gonna fall first.
And Shiro
Why?
lives.
Oh my!
I'm incredibly confused. This should not have happened, should it? Spear outside the shards?
This shard block might have been fading already. This might have been a visual issue.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, oh, nice jump here. I haven't talked about that just yet. I mean, obviously there's combo potential with the Inksfell on the Tusk, but they're not going to be landing together all that much. But it's also works quite well with that pounce from Wishing.
And normally Slug, of course, not very likely to want to go up into the enemy's faces this early on, but as it turns out, when the Phoenix is isolated, you are very safe to do so.
Yep.
Again, though, the Slug is only going to stay as long as there's a possibility of kills, and Kachu is here right now to try to contribute to that, but hey, a hawk just flew over. He is rumbled.
You, sir, have been scouted.
I can see the boars repositioning towards the flank as well. Now he moved out again. Boars go right back to bothering the Slark. It tells that you're being watched and very subtle at this this level. He just warded on top of the ward as well, jeez.
One time you don't bring a sentry, you know? Looks like they'll be able to find Phoenix again though, so there you go. Same combo. Level 6 still yet on Slack. Be careful about, especially with the double bore.
ZZQ really wants to help secure that first power rune, but thinks better of it once he sees Kachu marching towards him.
Region rune.
Oh yeah, he's too fast, I think. Quick little turn by that Tiny there. I think it's in those small moments that you see that Dota has become a little bit more responsive. And now the first exorcism is gone, but they didn't get a kill before it. The catapult is getting his attack speed slowed up by Planet right now.
Still significant amount of damage being done here. They're really committing for this tower. Sunray coming through, not all that scary early on. He's trying to go for the deny, and he does get it. You gotta be kidding. Freaking Planet. That's a crazy SOB. If you allow.
Because you asked. Smoke towards top lane. Terrorblade's still hanging around. That was not
Not
a
for too
wise
much
idea,
longer
as it turns
here. He
out.
does have Sunder to work with, though. Gets a little bit longer now. Help is on the way, but so it is for LBZS as well. They will finish this kill eventually. And Xiaofu gets live. Irving gets a live too. That rocket, not enough to finish the job. Might have to deny himself to creeps here, but then again, he's pretty damn fast. Fast enough. Lucan jiving onto the tower. Yeah, alright. Let's give the shared kill. 168 goals, not all that much if it's spread between 3 different heroes.
And these were some forced rotations. It's surprising that Shiro also still gets a bit of the money. Shiro actually goes right back to top lane. That's surprising. Maybe he wants to look to turn his next metamorphosis into that top tower. He does have a ward watching as well, but Grimstrike's coming back to top as well. I think he's just putting himself in harm's way once more. This is where LBZS are going to make their return.
Turn of the... Well, I was gonna make a fun joke with the sun icon.
A fun joke?
I know, right? Was a bold strategy, bold idea. Did not work out.
You gotta reach for the stars.
Still love that you're sticking with this logo though.
It's very
Something
great.
as Shiro's trying to farm up these stacks, but these know about this one. Exorcism used to commit to it. They also know that Sunder's on cooldown, but unable to really get on top of him, so just have to settle for the stack at least.
Pretty nice one. And yeah, Shiro would have been toast one patch ago, well, one main patch ago, when he would not have had the speed to walk out there. But as it stands, Exorcism takes the stack, is going to be used to take this top tower as well. Nothing that Phoenix, either the team or the hero, can do about it here. No level 6 on the bird just yet, and that means no team fight.
Well, bring an X up here.
Yeah, he's did he have another stack to take? I don't think so. Huh. What? I guess they're coming back to secure the tower now, but I don't know exactly what was going on there.
I guess there wasn't too much time left in the Exorcism anyway, but still, it seems a bit weird that it wouldn't go for it immediately. Either way, they're here now. So is Phoenix, so is CZQ here. The shards do connect. Snowball in to the follow-up stun, cross the cogs. Well played indeed. CZQ is dead. Tower is not, so that's a bit annoying.
Tower holding for now means that the Beastmaster could have finally done his thing, pressured the Slark back. Of course, there's no actually killing the Slark as a Beastmaster. They simply pushed out his tower. A lot of dire vision on the bottom side of the map as well, so that means the triangle is secured.
He's gonna do it again, Gibbs.
Oh.
This planet gonna do it again. He's gonna get some help. CZQ TPing in, actually leaving the tower alive. Baltimore, I'm not sure if it's in deny range quite yet. Doesn't look like
I don't think so. Yeah, Planet has got his 6 now. That's very dangerous for LBZS to actually dive.
It's in the right position. They have 3 heroes up there at level 1 egg. That's you can still click it down. Even if there's a spirit on 1 or 2. Snowball across. He did get the jump out. Now ZQ jumping back in. No cogs, see the spear. That was also a bit weird again, but anyway, Catcher dies, ZQ gets stunned up, and Wishing actually making a rotation here as well. Supernova all the way in the back, caught inside the cogs, Wishing committing for a moment, but then gets a jump out. Nice little nuke here from X to finish off the kill, and Supernova does not stun up anyone. Jiaofu is fine as the spear comes out to protect him, and now another Exorcism, putting that on cooldown once again. It's changed for the Roar here to make sure the dash can walk away. So this tower will finally go down. No fancy deny shenanigans this time, as Planet does have another dive to get himself out of trouble there. A bit of a back and forth, some weird spears here through arenas as well now. I guess he was on the outside already.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But Phoenix taking it easy for now, really just delaying. They're waiting for that Blink Dagger over on the Tiny. That's when they're really going to start making moves. Zolme has already done his job in pushing out that bottom side of the map. It's got him dying as well, straight into the Solar Crest. Beastmaster is such a great aura carrier. Could go with Lads after that. You could look to get a Helm's Dominator. Could go straight into AC, whatever his heart desires. I think the AC is going to be over on the Tiny. It's more likely to see things like, I don't know, Crimson Guard's a possibility? Feels a bit weird on a Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Force Staff, probably. Blink BKB. So many builds you can go.
Also, it's always nice to get against the Slug, who's taking a ton of damage here just from the sun rays. So eventually, that is a concern that you might still just not heal as much as you might expect, even if you pop your ult in a situation like this. So yeah, percentage-based damage on Phoenix from the sun ray, very powerful. But you gotta be careful here. Wishing still hanging around up top. You got the Xiao Fu initiated on. That's a blink reveal, I believe.
It is.
Xiao Fu panicking, popping that smoke even. That was the wrong button for sure. And Wishing, at least you can realize, wait a second, they see me here. I'm a hawk or something. He gets to live. Support tank in the gank. It's some classic Dota right there.
And this would be a great fast move if there wasn't a Radiant Ward down that scouted out this move, so very doubtful that the Death Prophet is going to fall for this.
Try again, it is a jump in, both of them at the same time, and tossing him out of the arena as they're caught inside, linked together. Roar comes through, he's still healing, but not healing enough. They get the kill that they came for, but at what cost? Another punch up. Supernova is going though, and that's a task going down. Wishing in the middle, has that ultimate, but there's plenty of damage to bring him down too. Does look like a good turnaround opportunity for LBZS. But alas,
they were 100% ready for that, but
yeah.
the fact that the Tiny doesn't die there is pretty incredible, and it allows for this great turnaround.
There he is again,
still here?
another jump, another combo, Xiao Fu, not long for the world, just waiting out the Lings as well. And, not fast enough, but the tree certainly is. He also turns one around, Planet. Last right click will finish him off. Shiro super low.
Should be very careful, he doesn't have Sunder.
He almost died there to the
They're kiting him.
stun from Irving. A snowball across it really wants him. He's baiting. He's baiting super hard, and he does pay with his life in exchange for Irving's and catches, despite that fancy shot. I don't know if that was worth it. Turboblade really wants to be farming at this point.
He baited several more kills here into his tempo heroes. I don't think it's too bad.
All right.
Like, sure, you do want to be farming here, but at the same time, you just empowered the heroes that are going to buy you more time a great deal.
Gets the Kip's seal of approval.
The Kip Silo, that's a pretty decent decision. He made it very consciously. We could all see him thinking and deciding, nope, no, this is worth it.
The Kip
He
seal
hoped, of course, it
okay,
could be.
decent decision. I like that.
The Kip Seal of more power to you.
Yeah.
Nice
hook shot indeed. Xiao Fu in a bit of trouble. Is gonna get that stun out, but follow up is there. Kachu super low, but can't side the arena here. If they can get this Tiny, this will have been worth it. This time, they will not be fooled. They will get that counter kill. That's a lot of money too. Kachu 520 gold for that kill.
Yeah, that's Dash, who just got a pretty big killing streak off of mid-fight.
Yep.
Opportunistic. Irving has been very good at holding these arenas. He knows that he's going to get his heroes are going to get jumped by this Clockwork, by this Tiny. He's just holding his arena, waiting until they come over.
Expect that from him. He's shown in game number 1 what kind of heads-up Moss player he is. Now will be gone on. I did not see this one coming. Blink in there from Kachu, trying to save, trying to maybe counter-initiate this. No arena available right now, and the damage is just too much, even through the Spirit Siphon. Now LBZS gonna be run down. There's one. Irving. Ooh, okay. That was a boxy level TP. I'll give him that one.
Yeah, sure. I was a little bit distracted at the start of the fight because this Slark has bought a Blink Dagger. So he is looking to combo up with the Grimstroke and looking to get involved very early. Even though that's pretty dangerous into the massive AoE damage of this Tiny, who is finishing up an Echo Saber as we speak as well, I believe.
Yep. Time and time again, now he's just annihilating heroes, but... Well, they might be able to do this the other way. Wishing goes in, they're linked together. And that's a punch up. There's the arena. Follow up with a bunch of back and forth. Tanky. He's so tanky, but not tanky enough. They just have enough damage. Now the jump forward. Snowball over on the Phoenix. Silence. There's no supernova, no dive out. ZZQ next on the list is Wishing. He's holding on to the pounds. Just like that. 3 kills. Into smoke. They want more. Can they get
Sure,
it?
better be getting the hell out of dodge. Yeah, that's out of dodge for sure.
Yeah. There was a water mid might have caught at the edge of the smoke there. Relate will not be fooled, and not really a Roche taking team at the moment, so get that one done either. Blink on Kachu as well already. The kill on Tiny earlier probably helping him out quite a bit there.
Now Dolme, smoke of his own.
Okay, there's the Raw coming through. Sunray should be enough damage, and very much is all alone. Very dangerous to go alone, as we all know.
Phoenix was very much ready for the rest of LBZS to be sitting behind him, though.
Controlling up the dire jungle.
Wishing going straight BKB now, fighting Slark. I like it, he's not going to sit back, even though the Terrorblade is pulling slightly away from him now. The man fight, once again, will be in the favor of Slark.
Yep. That's a very interesting hero. Like, the longer the fights go, the more dangerous he becomes, the more terrifying he becomes.
Talk about terrifying, this Terrorblade himself isn't shying away from getting involved with his team's fights either. He's pretty close to a Manta Style. He's got a Dragon Lance already, so he is in pretty decent shape to fight. He just needs to be careful not to get caught inside of an arena. I think that would be his doom. Oh, he buys out for a BKB instead of finishing the Manta. Alright.
Okay. Well,
Talk about
keep him
fighting.
safe against arenas, I guess. Perfect his own BKB completed as well. Full Link deck of his own. Very mobile team when all is said and done. 3 different blinks, jumps, snowballs.
But they're matching Phoenix here, who have a Blink Dagger over on their Beastmaster right now, so it's really all about who has the vision control of these team fights. If the enemy goes on you and you can't see their backline yet, then it doesn't matter how many people you can jump, you can only really go for their front line. Scouted, Rocket Flare.
What about this one? The decision has to be made. You want to commit with the exorcism already going. It's not the fastest Roche in the world. There's a Clockwork on the other side. Supernova Arena. This is going to be a tough fight if they can time it right. Wishing on the outside, sitting there at half health. Ushan not dead just yet. The Hawk shot into the arena. He goes down, and Phoenix snatches that ages away. Wishing time to right click as they're all linked together.
Big inks, well.
He's getting that kill. Jump outside as the Supernova comes through. 1-2 heroes down. That's 2 cores just in exchange for the Clockwork and dash. He wants more. That's Avalanche not finding anything, but they do see Zhao Fu spotted inside the trees. He's dead. No.
That could have been even more disastrous for LBZS if that Inkswell doesn't stun 3 heroes.
Yeah. It was disastrous enough, even with that.
Aegis stolen. Very, very hard to take a Roshan versus the Clockwork. They have perfect vision here over on Phoenix, and that's what really going to make the difference in these next couple of fights. Again, as I said, LBZS have a bunch of sources of jump too, but they're fighting into a Beastmaster Clockwork. Phoenix is always going to have the superior information if they play this right. Right now,
It's gotta be
it's
very
a
careful.
dangerous place to be.
Sliver of vision there from this dire ward as well. be the first Aegis snatch that LBZS is coming back from. So. Today, at least. There's a wow.
天辉中塔正受
Why do you
到
2-minute refresher
okay.
for the Phoenix?
I really wish that we had some stats here right now. That's I think the only person that I've seen do this before with any kind of consistency is GH, and with mixed success as well.
Huh.
Especially since LBZS are going to be able to vacate the premises rather effectively.
It is going to need some sort of save, but Kenju's not in position to do it.
And a hookshot on backlines.
Yeah, Xiaofu
Going
looks
to
like he's
skill.
gonna beat that.
No?
as well. They do a vision now, so yeah, plus the AoE.
天辉上塔正受到攻击。
Sentry in tower range, that's a classic.
Yeah, so
Hey,
this refresher build on the Phoenix, right? What I've heard other talents say about this as well, I believe it was BSJ that I was listening to back then. I was saying like, alright, this is all fine and good, a refresher on the Phoenix, but usually you either win the fight on the first egg, or you're already so alone on the second egg that it doesn't matter anymore, as we watch Irving also being very alone.
Yeah, initiated on, left his own
The
devices,
TV is not hitting him.
BKB, barely. Not enough, yeah. That's another jump forward, he's just not stopping, Kips. Snowball to the
Aegis, he
latest,
doesn't
a
have
little
to.
bit further, and it might be able to trigger this one right now. The Exorcism going through, Wishing, coming back in. That's one, the Supernova is going. That's the first Supernova. Can have a second one whenever he wants, but the BKB on Tiny now. They have no way to lock him down through that at the moment. Still hunting,
It's
they
like
don't want to make use of the
dangerous chase for
Exorcism, but
LBZS.
this is very dangerous indeed. X super low. Xiaofu going in, but they might be able to burst down this Death Row before the heals come through. But there is the Spirit Siphon's coming through. He's still alive, Wishing. Now clicking away at Shiro, but X isolated. That ultimate.
Sure, can't fight this, he
Is
doesn't
that
have meta.
enough? Okay, he does not. Wishing definitely can fight this
Nice
though
spear
with the
back.
extra bit of help. The Snowball, he jumps down to the low ground. Heals up from the ult, from the salve. And he's going to look to re-engage in a moment. They have not cancel that TP on Dash. That is very unfortunate. Both him as well as the Beastmaster able to live through this. LBZS, a very tough call, very brave choice to run after them like that on the Death Prophet, but they realized that they had to get something done here. And at the end of the day, they did.
Absolutely. They're still with their backs against the wall though. This Slark, that Skadi is going to be a long time in the works. In the meantime, his entire base is being watched by Dire Vision. Phoenix is going to be able to go again as soon as another Metamorphosis is up.
If Wishing ever wants to return home, he should be able to figure out that some of this vision exists. What's he doing there all alone? Dying, I guess. BKB comes through up against most of the tiny bursts. Arena comes out just to walk away. Gets to live.
Tiny not popping his own to chase there. That wouldn't have been wise.
Bit careful here on Slack.
Loses most of his HP immediately. Yeah, AC coming up to the Tiny now. After that, most likely going to go into Shard.
Jump in, Wishing. Still his ultimate, the TP out, and top of that BKB. Can't quite deal with that just yet, but, well, some resources down.
That was very close.
Not worried. I'm not worried at all.
天辉上塔正受到攻击。
Alright. Last remaining outer tier tower goes down. There's still a ward inside the base. A little bit long as Oakshot comes through, and this is X in a bit of trouble. Look at this damage! Look, what? He disappears! BKB not protecting him at all. Tower also melting. Not even. Oh, it's a tiny with the DD even.
Yeah.
What is
Plus the
happening
Beastmaster,
here?
look at that
He's
attack speed.
dead. Wishing has to go in with that ultimate. He can click for a while, but there's the Arena. But on top of the Supernova, it's just a disengagement Arena. Catch you on the side, trying to create some chaos, but he's about to die.
天辉
if Shiro gets a hold of him. Last couple right clicks, nah, gets a blink away, but there's nothing left for LBZS here, is there?
Tank's nearly empty. I mean, Wishing has a bunch of stacks. He has a BKB up again now as well. I think Phoenix has to retreat for now.
BKB doesn't help you if you don't have that ult. Like, Shiro can just straight up fight you, especially with Tiny still holding on to that DD. Very rough game. But any slack lineup, right? You don't want to take 5-on-5 engagements like that in your own base if you can help it. Very tough to find angles where you can just get some quick and free hits in. Does have the shot, which I believe is like an AoE cloud for his team for 3 seconds. It's like the ultimates, it's hiding them.
Yeah. It is very useful. Yeah, but you have to be pretty quick to use it.
Ooh, frost up away. Spear back. We'll be able to bring him down, but at what cost? Tiny off to the side doing a bit of damage, but it's all still alive. BKB's galore, Xiaofu, first one to fall. Nice arena here, and there's a lot of damage, but not enough. On to Tiny, unless he walks into the arena a couple times. What? Alright, he eats the cheese, he's fine, but Shiro's dead. What happened to him? This is EZQ with a defensive hook. Oh, he's sundered. Right, it wasn't even a cheese. It looked like a cheese, but was it Sunder and Shiro dies? What? What is happening?
Dash couldn't stop walking into the wall. I had no idea what he was doing there. And apparently Shiro thought that he could get away with saving his Tiny, and he just couldn't.
That was beyond unnecessary in a number of different ways. He was fine. There was no one there for LBZS to follow up at the moment. They could have just waited out the arena, but now they're going back in. Snowball Cross rushing with the BKB with the follow-up stun. Supernova's going, but they don't care. They just kill the Beastmaster. They get stunned. But CZQ still okay. He barely gets to live there after the nuke. Still have the stick charges, so they really want him. And they're gonna be able to get him now. Taken out. And oh, you silenced! He couldn't cancel the dive. He's dead too. The big hit from the tree to at least catch you, but he's gonna be perfectly fine with that. Probably sitting back in his chair, being like, "Yep, we did that. We punished you super hard for giving up your Terrorblade like that." I mean, what?
Bewildering decision.
Very bold strategy. Let's see if it works out for them, Kips. Still heavily favored by Dota+.
Oh yeah, like this Terrorblade is still very big. Also, of course, LBZS had to. Yeah, exactly. Content with the 2 sets of racks. And Tiny scales very, very nicely as well. We are going to be looking at the Dark Portrait in not too long, though. That is going to be a real issue. I have seen Terrorblades get shredded by their own illusions.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Have to ban some people in chat. No spoilers, guys. It's not a hard concept. Just don't spoil scores and don't spoil the game for everyone, which is it just, I don't know.
If people want to know, they'll go look it up themselves. You're not doing anybody a service.
Quite the opposite in fact. Roshan. So targets here. Phoenix smoked up behind it and looked like LBZS like this one. It's a second Roche, Aegis, cheese, and that active shot. See where this one goes.
Aeon Disc for the Death Prophet, that's a very necessary purchase. My god, have we seen him get melted.
Shot currently in the backpack from Shuro. Pass it on to Beastmaster. What does that do?
It's a dive bomb.
Yeah, right. They changed that?
Very, very entertaining.
I think they
to see all the
values
of
on
the forest.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they did. You don't get to move your hawk anymore, which was pretty ridiculous, all things considered. But the fact that its cooldown is so short now, I think it's 15 seconds, means that you basically are going to be able to have vision whenever you want anyway. And then of course there's the dive bomb that turns all the cute little creatures of the forest suicidal.
Pretty good indeed. Yeah, 15-second cooldown, 60-second duration. The Hawk. Pretty good.
Phoenix will be able to see everything they are doing.
Yeah. Kind of detected with the slug, but still tough to locate it down. So, okay, they're just going in, wishing with the BKB clicking away. They're still standing up with the roar. He's unable to actually get rid of it. The snowball to save it a little bit, and he ults. He's trying to get out of that AoE damage, and he does indeed. Axe. He's the one to pay the price. Wishing did not have his Q available against that roar stance, who could not keep hitting. Got the one kill. Nice little speed towards the arena. He is clicking away, but does have that second egg to worry about. He's just clicking through with this cloud thing that he has from his own shot. But it's not quite the ultimate. Let's remember, those are mega creeps as well. They had to take this fight. Ketchy goes in, the spear catches a couple. Irving just almost dying to illusions after the fact. The game was tough before, now it gets incredibly hard. Yeah, this is... You can't do that. It just takes forever to clean through waves now.
You should still be aiming to get the Aghanims up on Zhao Fu, but I'm not sure if there's enough time anymore. They're giving him these waves as well. These are the last couple of super creeps before he's going to have to deal with megas instead. That's where it gets extremely hard for the side of LBZS. Nobody can clear them, really. Certainly not the supports.
By themselves. So yeah. This game kind of slipped out of their hands just a little bit. They're not giving up, and okay, there's a roar over.
Oh no!
Stomp, he's dead! What? Oh, okay. This is where the game ends, I think.
Yeah, that
just like that, you know, off screen, just more or less.
And even the ops didn't see that one coming.
No.
And like, why would you? That's a Slark.
It's not supposed to happen, but when it does, yeah, it's just devastating. Another toss back here as they're trying to take this fight. Arena, a lot of damage being done actually with that. They're all burning, but the BKBs come out. They're not actually dead just yet. Catchu somehow lives for a little bit longer, but no buyback on him either. Just the clockwork going down. But 40 seconds might as well be an eternity at this point. Mega creeps are coming in. Powers are gonna be taken down. This gem on the ground is
Zhao Fu sold his items for Aghanims, but I don't think he can get the share.
Yes,
he does.
No way. He's just dead though. So is X. That's that roar. Roar on the end. That's how little they care. GG, well played indeed, and Phoenix striking back. Game number 2.
Pretty decent refresher game for that. Phoenix actually is what you're really looking to do is just siege, daring the Slark to jump into you, daring that Marsh to jump into you as well. You're just going to be able to pop an egg, tell them to back off, then when they reset and go again, you pop another egg and you tell them to try once more, and by that time their buildings are most definitely dead.
Yeah. Alright. We have a series on our hands, Gibbs.
We do have a series on our hands. I know you were hoping for this. And I mean, both of these teams matched so closely.
It would be a travesty if it didn't happen like this. And all these highlights. This was some very rough situations here. Still get this kill and mostly get out. Irving ends up dying to the tower afterwards.
Phoenix holding their tower for as long as possible here.
Tiny was caught outside the arena. It just looked like he was inside because he was so close. He was trying to get in. This Slark working out in the end. This looked like a big turnaround.
Yeah.
Spread the damage out a little bit too much by the looks of it. I mean, it's wishing unable to really get the clicks in, and then that's Sunder. This time it worked out.
Absolutely massive because it allows the egg to go off as well.
Yeah.
Now we're going to watch Shiro.
He almost died to that the click from Irving, and then this wouldn't have been necessary.
That. And yeah, going into double bore with 2 melee heroes like that, you're always going to lose them. But at least he got Shiro out of it. I still think that's a fine play for Shiro if, you know, Dash doesn't immediately give away a big streak here.
Get some big kills like that here.
What's
and
his
then
best
catch a
profit?
blink and, yeah, it just disappears. Way too much damage. There's
And
not enough
DP
time to heal up
sporadic.
with Spirit Siphon, right? It's a bit of a nightmare.
Too much burst. Just the Blink Dagger reveal from Wishing.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Coming in as well with the follow-ups and plenty of control against that. Nice silence to prevent the Phoenix from doing any shenanigans. Not that the Supernova there would have changed things all that much.
And the problem with the Blink Dagger versus this lineup of Phoenix is that they just have the superior vision.
Maybe they can just ignore the arena because all of BKBs and hookshotting in and whatnot. So the
Still
arena
the,
didn't do anything in that fight.
It didn't, but at least the triple Inkswell sure did.
Yes, it did.
Oh, Death Prophet. Like this was their mid-hero reminder. She just didn't really contribute anything throughout the game. Easily focused down.
Not getting Shiro here because of her sacrifice. Just able to stay alive just a little bit longer with the Spirit Siphons that time. Enough for the rest of LBZS.
And that axe damage was also starting to stack up, by the way. LBZS couldn't wait much longer. Yeah, okay, so now, is there a reason? Give me a reason, Dash.
1, 2, 3.
There.
No, there's not. There's no reason.
No. I think both of them can just stand still there. So baffled still. Just
I'm speechless. What a nice little sort of catches here by LBZS. And if at this point they weren't missing 2 sets of Rex already, this game might have been a lot easier. Like they would have been able to not commit as hard for this one after getting roared there. Wishing not being able to hit there, now having to leave the face of the Supernova. That really was the turning point of that fight. Might have been able to get the kills out otherwise.
Dolum, yeah, I've been saying that Beastmaster is underpicked in the offlane position right now. People went, oh, the axe is nerfed, we can't mid him anymore, and promptly stopped picking it, and I think that's just wrong. There's always space for a Beastmaster in your lineup, and Dolum plays his role perfectly here. Pressures out the bottom lane, gathers all of the auras, and in general just provides the backbone of his team to find lots of pickoffs around. Great play by him.
Absolutely. So that means we have a tied up series. This rarely happens when I cast lower division Chinese Dota, but I'm very happy when it does, especially with teams of this caliber matching up against each other. So we're going to take a short break, but we will be back in a couple of minutes time with game number 3. Stay tuned.
还剩10秒，请天辉方禁用英雄，请夜眼方禁用英雄。请夜眼方挑选英雄，请天辉方挑选英雄。
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are back already, and back with vengeance, perhaps. Phoenix Gaming once again picking that one up for Planet, probably. Why the hell not? Worked out decently well last time with that refresher, or actually, it's not a usual Phoenix build, perhaps, but it did work out for them in the last game. But this time, they have a proper egg scrambler, the counter pick. with with the Snapfire, like just a single value point into that little shredder, and you're gonna have an easy time dealing with that egg, and more often than not. So.
And right now, it's really not a value point. Previously, you were going away from the Scatterblast cookie build, but right now, this is your main build. You're going to be maxing shredder. You're going to be providing minus armor on a single target, especially once you've got a medallion into that solar crest as well. This is what everybody picks Snapfire for. This is an excellent combination with the Snapfire.
Oh yeah, that's
digging this.
That's an offlane that you just don't really want to fight into. You just want to pick a hero that can jungle immediately almost, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. You know, it's too tough.
It's also good illusion clear, so a lot of these carries like PL, like the TB that we saw the previous game as well, would normally be perfectly happy to go into the jungle on like level 5, are really not going to like doing that. They are going to like playing in general versus an LC.
Yep.
With the lockdown, with the overwhelming odds, illusion clear, and this combination is just so deadly. You know, picking the Clockwork into this doesn't feel as good because you're going to have people getting cookied out of your cogs.
Yep.
Or even worse, dangerous guys being cookied into your cogs.
Oof. Which is a bit tougher because you gotta find the right angle where you don't get pushed back before it gets cookied in. And, yeah. But yeah, either way, it's certainly not the easiest. Still relying on that to create some chaos in the team fights, and ZQ certainly has been able to do that quite well in the last game. Provide some sort of protection for the egg as well, kind of trying to make sure that it goes off. We'll see if they can repeat that here.
Cogs are of course very good for zoning back a Snapfire who needs to be at pretty close range in order to use her little shredder. And on the other hand, Clockwork is also very good at finding Snapfire and stopping her using her ultimate and potentially solo killing her on the back of a team fight if she is using the kisses to rain down instead. So there are definitely upsides to this matchup.
Lion earlier today, we had in that overview that we saw of high win rate heroes, no, high picked heroes. Lion, I believe he was 60% with 25. I might be wrong. No, actually, I think it was below 50. It was like 44% with 25 times picked or something.
Yeah, I think in China he might be a little bit overpicked. In Europe, maybe a little bit underutilized instead.
All right.
In this game, though,
that headset, by
good
the way.
response. It's magnificent. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, yeah. Pretty decent response to a Clockwork jumping in. You can always hex him. And you of course have the finger on top of a jewel. There's a lot of single target as well as multiple target damage on LBZS. A lot of damage in general. Also think it's important to pump up your magical damage when you're picking a Snapfire. I've seen some teams getting baited into picking nothing but physical with a Snap. I'm kind of hoping to see LBZS continue to buck that trend here by picking up some more magic damage as well. Although of course most of the heroes that provide magic damage are a little bit on the squishier side, and there is once again going to be a tiny over on Phoenix Gaming.
Yeah, it's gonna be looking for this Lion as some easy food. Lion Snapfire too to some extent. So if he gets to pop off like he did last game, it's going to be a bit tough for them. Especially if you don't account for them when you go for duels, and all of a sudden you're the one giving damage over to whoever your target is. Gotta be very careful, right? But then again, if he blinks in, and if you're ready for him with that quick hacks from the line, perhaps it can turn around on its head very quickly too.
Lion best, of course, versus single engagements, where you get to use both of your spells on the same target while your teammates, hopefully just bring them down.
Yep.
A lot harder when one person jumps in and then the second person jumps you because you showed on the reaction. A lion dies immediately.
See how it goes. It depends on who jumps in first. Like if it's the Clockwork jumping in first, and he gets controlled up and dies, but he gives the vision for the Tiny to find the right angle, find the right engagement, then that would be worth it for sure. As the Razor now makes an appearance, a lot of these other heroes banned out. The Razor is the anti-carry showing up.
Also going to wreck the Tiny in lane. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they might just follow this Tiny around wherever he goes, because sure, you can demote this hero to a position 3, but you could just move your Razor onto a side lane. I don't actually think that LBZS cares much.
No, I wouldn't. Like if you're already probably gonna win that the Legion Commander lane, no matter what. And if you have that proper Razor matchup, he's gonna win that lane too. When if you secure 2 lanes, don't much care about the third normally. You can transition that into something very, very strong.
This is not a magic damage hero though. Yeah. So plus Surge, plus Ion Shell. This Tiny and this Clockwork are going to do some damage early game.
Yep.
They're going to be fast while doing it too, going to be able to surge out of possible links as well. Once the Aghanims comes up on the Darkseer, which is by now usually actually a second item already, it becomes very hard to win duels as well, because it's the extra HP makes such a big difference.
This hero has the potential to do a lot of work this game, especially also when it comes to some 5-on-5 engagements, which not something that LBZS necessarily want to look for, like because they have so much good single target pickoff at the moment. But if they clump up too much, Vacuum brings them together, Tiny combo, top of everybody, maybe inside Cogs, and then all of that AoE from the Phoenix. It's could get a bit tough.
They definitely have some wombo combo potential here.
Alright.
As there is a Medusa still in the pool, but you're going to be working versus a Darkseer, which is not always ideal.
Yeah. Not impossible, but the stronger you get, the stronger the Darkseer gets as well. And all these other contingencies that could make the difference in a team fight if you can't get rid of your own illusion very quickly. So.
Phoenix might be thinking about it themselves as well.
I wouldn't hate that.
I don't see many other reasons to ban out an anti-mage. Actually, I don't think anti-mage is a strong hero right now. Alternatively, this could be a carry Tiny, and they're looking for a mid hero here.
Still a couple
versus
of those
the Pro Bowl Razor matchup. Yeah.
There's still all of the Spirit heroes.
Yeah, you don't want to lane Ember into Razor. You don't. Storm's pretty sad as well. Void Spirit, the least out of them. But with the amount of lockdown over on LBZS right now, it feels a bit like a crapshoot. Maybe go for a... We've brought up the Leshrac a couple of times now.
We did, yeah.
I feel like it could still be very valid.
What about the Death Prophet here for Phoenix? Also still
I think you still lose the lane to the Razor. And you're going to have to go BKB first into a lineup with a lot of physical damage as well. No, I want tank. Okay, that's tank.
Well, it's mid-tiny, but you have an Ursa the Razor on the other team, so it's gonna be a prime target for him to just walk the
现
bear.
在请选择
Not walking the
英
dog,
雄
but walking the bear in this one as the Doom comes out as well.
Two
LBZS
buffs.
very much focused on very strong lanes and transitioning that into dominating mid game. It'll just kind of go back and forth. They could pick off after pick off after pick off and try and pull Phoenix apart that way. That's how it looks to me, at least.
Yeah, but they'll have to do it with physical damage. Apart from the finger, they don't really bring in that much magic at all, which is a lack of AoE and a lack of burst in early team fights. I think it's one of the traps of a Snapfire pick that you go into that, and it might end up giving Phoenix a little bit more space to get their items up. Razor versus Ursa is nice if the Razor gets to live. Unfortunately for him, even if he rushes a BKB here, an Ursa with a good enough start can definitely shred him before the minus damage really starts to tick in. So this is not easy for the Razor by any means.
This is where I probably want to go for Yules. It's very useful against Ursa in a number of different ways, and not the worst thing for a Razor. Like you can Yules up your targets, deal damage throughout all of that, and it's very good against Ursa and Rage too. Just being able to kite out that ultimate, because of course, as we all know, Yules does not get affected by status resistance that he gets from his ult. I'm hearing sounds, but I'm not seeing a picture change at the moment.
Might have a little bit of a pause on our hands for now. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yules build on a Razor would be very nice this game. And then you have a lot of tools to deal with that Ursa in general. Shiro is going to have to play a really strong game here if he wants to pull it out.
Here we are diving straight into the game. What matchups are we gonna actually see? Because yeah, okay, wishing on the Doom actually, yeah. Safe lane Doom, mid Razor, Irving taking that Legion Commander.
Over to the side lane, I imagine. And this is for the Ursa, especially in the early levels, not that favorable of a matchup either. He's not necessarily going to die. He's going to be able to secure range creeps, of course, with the Earthshock. He's going to be able to leap out of any troublesome situation with that as well. But the LC trades pretty well for a while, same as a Mars. So, much like in game 1, doesn't look to be the easiest lane for Shiro. Then, of course, this Tiny is going to suffer first to Razor in mid. Eventually, once again, he's going to be able to burst down the creep waves and leave the lane before the Razor can do anything to him. And he is going to be the one who's going to be killing the Razor if the Razor goes to Yules build, but that's an if now, instead of an easy thing to do.
Alright, we are ready to go. Game number 3. Exciting game in this best of 3 series between LBZS and Phoenix. A series that has potential implications on how this whole season turns out for them. Of course, Phoenix have yet to lose a series. Only dropped 2 maps in total throughout the season, but this might be the one. Gibbs LBZS could tie it up 5-1 standings, and at that point it gets a bit interesting. I mean, Area, CDC, Magma, still a couple of teams that are in range of also getting these 5 wins, forcing some tiebreakers along the dividing line.
I'd love to see a tiebreaker with a special little chance going to Astra Aries. I think they've been extremely impressive this season.
Have it in their hands. They're playing against Extremes, so that should be a victory for them. It'll be happening tomorrow morning. So yeah, it is very much inside the realm of possibility at this point.
I'll be casting that one. I think I'm taking all of the leftover games from this season, so I'm going to watch it all play out.
Alright.
Right, Dash. Show me that creep wave manipulation. Gets it up to the high ground. Doesn't lose too much damage there. It's still going to be a pain to last hit with this, but
Oh yeah.
he gets his possibilities. Not like that though.
Yeah, should be Razor favored.
I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever. Maybe later on Dash can start tossing the Razor back. That would be pretty nifty.
Oh yeah. Any sort of rotation?
Yeah, this is more what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
Pull the waves as far as possible towards his own tower.
Still able to secure the range creep though, and as we all know, that's the most important. A couple of knives there too. Nice. I mean, okay, that's a cookie in. Connects on Dolme just on the edge and doesn't have surge. She's dead. First
No,
blood
but
being
dead.
drawn. That's not always easy, you know, against the Darks here. Only just runs away, but yeah, if he doesn't have it available, then obviously that doesn't come into play. So very, very nicely done.
And the Doom, of course, way too tanky to care about level 1 Ion Shell. Later on in the lane, it is going to definitely annoy him more. Doom does not have as much innate regen as he used to have anymore.
By the way, this also flags out the fact that it's actually the casual line. Haven't talked about that too much as yet. Snapfire 5, so don't have this combo with Legion Commander in lane. But either way, you do have stuns to work with one way or the other. But you're utilizing that to do a ton of damage towards Shiro.
Shiro very much struggling to get on the board right now. Both offlaners doing really well for themselves. So we're going to see lane pressure out from Phoenix. We're going to see kill pressure out from LBZS.
Ooh.
Another cookie.
That
Not
looked like it
this
was
time.
very close. Yeah. Cookie cancels the dive. Planet's probably dead there. But alas, it was not to be.
It was a Tiny's got his bottle. He's going to get to survive here, get to spam out his spells. This is definitely
全面加固。
going to turn out better for him now, but he still always has to play careful.
Yep.
His game doesn't really start until he gets to actually rotate. There are some kill possibilities with a support rotation, but I'm not really sure how either of the Phoenix supports are going to leave their cores alone for long enough. Maybe Planet can make a move once Dolme's got this lane pushed out sufficiently.
Yeah.
Of course, the
Gotta be a bit
Phoenix support
careful
rotation
here
was
as
pretty
well.
bad.
Dolme has to be careful. Look at this power. Vacuum back in. Cookie out. As they're trying to get this kill, but Dolme dies first, and Jiaofu, there's not enough damage on him. Little Shredder. What a spell.
Quite the ability.
Just brought Darkseer down from 100% to maybe what, 30, 40%? Just from a single spell at level 2.
And now ZZQ as well. This laning stage is not going well for Phoenix.
No. 2 kills bottom, 1 kill top now. In top it was to be expected. Like, Legion Commander is very tough to play against, even as a Ursa. Certainly if you have the backup from the stun.
I would say definitely as the Ursa.
Yeah, we've also talked at length about mid, and there it is. Okay, couple more right clicks here to bring down Sheriff Fairfire. Keeps him alive, and ZZQ just a little bit too annoying to commit further.
I don't think ZZQ had a salve on him though, did he?
Don't think so. Yeah, Shiro is still very much low. Jiaofu making that rotation up top as well. Didn't quite see who TP'd up there and who cancelled it, but I still smell an opportunity here if Shiro get too close. There's no duel just yet. No way to really lock him down.
So Planet can move now that the Snapfire is not on the bottom lane anymore, but he's a Phoenix. What's he going to do? Usually it's stack.
Yes. It's not the worst thing in the world.
It is not, but they're going to have that Tiny take those stacks pretty early, and then he needs to hit home with those first rotations. Otherwise, nobody's going to be able to make the game move.
Yep.
And it's just going to be all LBZS walking down the lanes with 3 very tanky cores.
Xiaofu trying to find a place to be here, looking for mid. Katyu as well. And
First
they
power
might
rune's
very well
coming up.
find him. Tiny inside the River of Death. Yeah, X against 3 people, but a stun connects. Cookie forward, still loading onto the Shredder. That was a TP in, but that's cancelled very wisely so. And well, Kips, now we've had a kill in every lane. Can't cancel that, or can't get rid of that Arcane Rune either, so X is going to be very happy about this. They're keeping Catapult alive too. This tower is going to take a decent amount of damage. Presumably.
And it feels very hard for Phoenix to see where they can even make a move right now. They're just going to have to drag for time, and the problem is here that they're dragging time for an Ursa who's going to have a rough time in this game regardless of what happens.
They can get this kill on him. There's a cookie
It's a level
forward.
6.
He does not have level 6. Not that he would have been able to get it off with his perfect chain stun. That's the first duel win of the Legion Commander. Very good start for him.
And the wall was used on the bottom lane. Wishing is completely unbothered. He's going to buy a Midas. He's going to farm away this game. Could just go into the blink after. Could go straight BKB. The world's his oyster.
It's gonna be so much money.
Phoenix is grouping around their Darkseer right now. But they have to go through this big Doom first. I'm not sure if they have the damage. They need several ion shells on him.
Takes quite a bit of damage from them, but yeah, now he's deeping out. Realizing, it's maybe a little bit too dicey now. Haven't seen them for a while. Couple of people in mid here looking to make the same rotation again. Oh, that rune. Sounds the Q is there a little bit earlier. Rune will spawn top, that's an invis. Oh, luck for Phoenix there.
Wishing actually abandoning that bottom lane. LBZS is really free to farm up on those 3 cores while Phoenix are holding hands in mid. At least they're going to get Katyu here, no?
Or are they?
No.
Nice little double stun as you saw that coming. They have a sentry in mid, but it's just outside range of that ward. Thanks, Volvo. He's looking for the kill here with the extra vision.
Oh, he's
Can they
dead.
get the duel up on CZQ? They can't with the Avalanche coming through instead. Well, they get the Doom over on 1. CZQ, there it is, finally. What they were looking for, wishing very deep. Perfect, kind of low. Shiro TPing in, vacuum back. He will maybe pay with his life, but maybe not. They just have to let him go. He's too fast.
Tolmade completely whiffing on the wall there. Just did he have vacuum CD or something like that?
I'm not sure. Cookie over and Shiro just dives straight up to Xiaofu, and Shiro cannot trade. It's just too much here. Well, LBZS. Not all of them healthy. Very little mana between them. Just the sheer numbers are too much for Shiro to handle at the moment.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that game too.
Midas online for Doom, so now he has 2 Midases, one the inbuilt one and then the item itself. Looking to try and punish him, trying to get something on the board. Yeah, they're still sitting at 0 kills.
Dash rotates, but Dolma is definitely going to be annoyed that his creep wave got just taken down.
See Katyu
Katyu's already there. He's got his finger online as well.
Don't even have hookshot though to get on top of him. Like there's no blings, no hooks. Just have
No,
to
they
wait
just
for
need
someone
to-
to walk up to the creep wave into this Darkseer. And it
They're
doesn't look
gonna
like they
walk
want
the
to.
creep wave into the tower.
Shiro reveals themselves. Yeah, LBZS, they were wise to it. They knew exactly what was going on here.
And another attempt at the bottom tower gone. At least the Phoenix got a couple of levels in mid right now. The mid tower still holds, but Planet's still not level 6 either. Even with the time you got to spend here. Major Commander's going straight Hood. She's going to be very tanky. And now Katyu with at level 6. Xiaofu level 6 as well. They're going to rotate into the triangle. They probably have a ward with them as well. Yep, there we go.
We'll break.
Well, not quite successful then. They would have really liked to get some vision there, but unfortunately there is a tiny in the way.
Alright.
What do you say about this game? I feel like
I
we're
know,
having the same problem as Phoenix right now. We're just sitting back waiting for LBZS to make a move and hoping that it's the wrong one.
I mean, I'm not hoping for that because I'm a bit of an LBZS fanboy. So, but Phoenix is definitely hoping that they overextend here. But so far, so good. Hookshot comes in, finally ZZQ level 6, but just dies immediately. So does the Phoenix. Dash able to even go for deny because he had to put his tail between his legs too and run away. Tower goes down. A couple of ultimates being exchanged, but why the hell not? You know, that's what they're for.
This is now a complete shutout. LBZS winning all 3 lanes. Not even by that big of a margin in some cases, but the fact that their Doom was completely undisturbed and is now playing up means that Phoenixes really have no recourse. Mech up on the Darkseer. What are you gonna do with that? You have no damage.
Even if you subtract the cost of the Midas from the Doom's net worth, he's still quite ahead in just monetary values.
Oh, this is not the first item we expected on the Razor, by the way.
Oh, what?
It's a Mask of Madness.
Okay.
Clearly, the game is just to make the casters wrong. She says BKB, he says Yules, Razor says Mom.
Alright, hookshot here onto the line. If they can't get the skills, would be strong. Nice little cookie out though. Now the stun coming through into the duel. It's not gonna be a supernova here anytime soon. Dolmate dies as the snapfire rains down hell from above. Shiro very mad about the situation. Just uses that in range to get away. But what an absolute disaster. 13-0.
Yeah, very brave dive from the Phoenix there. Especially since I think the Shredder was already used. It could have been possible to actually get a decent egg out there, but Katyu just has his number.
Yeah.
Blink on the Tiny. The Phoenix gotta go again with this. They gotta try. It's not going to be great, but they got an item timing. And then hopefully by the time that they buy some more space, Shiro might have a Diffusal Blade. Probably the most cost-effective item for damage dealing here for him, but it feels so bad.
Been a while since I've seen that.
It seems to be a staple of the fast Ursa build, but from what I've seen so far was a 1-on-1 with one great Shad game, where it was up versus a Medusa, where of course it worked extra well.
Oh yeah.
And then a Kuman game where it fell extremely flat on its face.
Let's see which one of that's gonna be here. If he even gets to that point. Now we have Phoenix kind of sitting there, diving back and forth. Katyu cannot quite get in range for the Hex. I think they might have seen that smoke. They have a ward right there. Not a very common spot. Just goes to show, not really anything working well for Phoenix right now.
Even if they didn't see it, they certainly expected. That bottom tower was going to be the target again anyway.
Oh yeah.
Vision going to be placed by ZZQ. They don't see anyone on the retreat either. I think Phoenix is finally going to get that bottom tower, unless they just don't bring the heroes there.
There times the charm if they wanted to go for it, but they're really desperately looking for some sort of kill. Anyone that can get at this point would be high value, but playing so defensive here. Irving is there, very tanky. Especially with that Hood, Xiaofu right behind him. LBZS not giving them any way. Get that, and so the tower's still standing now. Minimap looked like they were Gonna walk in.
Please just hit those bottom creeps again. You want that tower, Phoenix. Trust me. I know you're scared, but you just secure it already.
Link dagger on Catchu.
下塔正受到攻击，
Going into a 4-staff next. So he's always going to be able to counter initiate now,
面加固。
because he's going to be allowed to sit back much more. And then after that, once the 4-staff is online, there's actually a second 4-staff in the works by Zhao Fu as well. He's going to have it first. This clockwork is going to be so sad. His cogs have never worked out yet, and they never will anymore.
Will be revealed here to find. Oh, the hookshot of the creeps! CQ unable to get in. They bring down a Phoenix, or maybe they do. Yeah, there it is. The duel to ensure that. Take them a while. Is still alive. Now Catchu. He is dead. Supernova comes out. Irving. He is dead too. He can't get rid of it. Did not quite have the burst. Somehow, Phoenix finally. It's that one they've been waiting for. An overextension from LBZS. It seemed unlikely. Sometimes the unlikely things do happen.
Yeah, they had to get caught with 2 people behind the cogs. That was pretty unlikely indeed. The LC also going for that before she had her pipette ready. She does have it now, which is going to protect her a great deal next time around. Bottom tower's still alive though, so once again LBZS is just going to TP people in. Catchu is right here.
Gonna try again this time. They're just gonna have to let him go.
The only thing I can think of why they didn't hit the tower there was that they were afraid that if they showed they were going to kill somebody else elsewhere on the map, but still, this shows precisely why you need to get rid of that tower. It's such a good vantage point for LBZS to come back, take over your triangle, and shove you out of the game once again, after you just got 2 kills defending that same triangle.
Hanging around here, they've just de-warded. So Phoenix knows that there's water and high ground, might be made it into just well, de-ward there. Now they're bringing in everybody. You know they want to jump in right the moment they see somebody, but yeah, Split, it's a bit dangerous at this point. Tiny Phoenix hanging around. I mean, there's still a bit of damage on the Tiny combo. There's still a bit of defense that they have to throw out, and it's big stuff. Clockwork, there's the Sapphire Ultimate coming through
this
with
before?
the duel, and the Clockwork's actually gonna win this one. Too many heals here with that. I think there was. They had a mechanism, right?
He did, yes.
Yeah.
And then Tiny toss that. LC, you died there before.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of jump.
At least it's a Clockwork. Sounds like he's gonna be using that dual damage all that effectively.
BKB Razor now. I guess I get the points anyway.
God damn it. Smoke and smoke action. Irving not caught because he's still TPing in. Straight into Roche Phoenix. Doesn't look like LBZS know that that's what they're doing right now. They're just going in the complete opposite direction. Into triangle. Figured it out now.
They're fast though, yeah. Shiro, buddy, you have to commit. I'm sorry.
Down
it's not
very
easy.
quickly, and it's in. The Supernova's out there. Get rid of the illusion. That's it. Can I get something in return here? Catchu, nothing stopped by the Supernova. They bring down RQ. Shiro walking the bear. His axe under cover of that BKB jumps down low ground, still loses that Aegis, and it does not have any teammates here. They know this too. LBZS, they want to get that secondary kill. Blink forward, into a stun, into the finger, into the duel. Win. Another plus 20 as it is a level 2 duel. And they got the Aegis.
That's the worst possible outcome.
This is worse indeed. Planet gets the TP out just barely. So it's no mana even on Catchu LinkedIn.
I think it's mostly down to dropping the egg there.
Yeah. They were
It's a
afraid
good
that
idea for...
LBZS was closer than they were, I think.
Yeah. Very understandable. The problem is just that normally if you fight with that Ursa with an Aegis, right, he gets all of his damage sapped on the first go around, and then you'll hopefully be able to turn on the second one. But since he used Enrage already, since the egg was down already, there was just nothing for Phoenix to do except run out again. And now you don't even get to have that advantage in your next fight. LC is going Shard. There's one there is why this reasons why this hero is strong right now, right? You're going to get a mini BKB on what is already a strong purge.
Eventually get the AoE on that spell, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do, but that's all the way over on level 25, and if I look at the state of this game, I don't think it's going to take LBZS that long.
I guess not. Looking for more kills here. A bit deep, but Wishing is very tanky. There's a duel on. We've seen this one again, but this time very much working out. Bit of an AoE, but Wishing with his own BKB, stunned up to bring it down. This Tiny, he's just dead with the Doom, with the Link. Supernova in the back there, having to walk away a little bit here. Nice little Cox catching them on the side, but it's not enough to actually be in the range of that explosion and not being stunned. But they did get 2 of these kills already. With all of this craziness, they're looking for Zhao Fu too. Another leash coming through, Shiro being healed up. Trying to break down the Snapfire. Managing to isolate the Doom as well as the Legion Commander. There's such a big thing for Phoenix. Able to get a team fight under the belt.
I'm not sure who got linked up in that fight, but it was not Shiro, and that's
Tiny,
a big mistake. Yeah.
It's linked up and doomed at the same time.
If you link up the, if you hold the link until you get the Ursa there's no way that Phoenix actually turn the fight.
Yep.
Do not have the damage to bring you down.
Thinking Tiny is all nice and good, but not if you have a higher priority target in the middle of a fight like that. It sounds like Tiny is at a point where you can right-click consistently anyway. It's mostly about the burst, about that control.
Mm-hmm.
In front. Okay. Drops the BKB. Hookshot off to the side here. 4-step out. Katju is still fine. They're all together here. The huddling. Like the team that they are, you know.
A little bit of a problem from the Clockwork with a melee carry there visible. If you cog in the wrong places, you're definitely going to lock your own hero out as well.
Alright. Game stabilized a little bit. Set indeed. Doom is of course still farming super hard with the Midas and the Flower. But
he has to be ahead, right?
He has to be ahead, indeed.
And it's I can say just a full item, it's a full plate now right now. This is going to be an AC. Shiro is not going to like that one bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Doom also needs to be ahead. Man, Lion's still working on that 4-staff. The game is definitely slowed down for Katju.
Yeah. But they might be able to get a bit of a boost into that, a smoke.
Good flank, they have the high ground. CZQ.
He's gonna die even, like it's been very questionable, very 50-50. Katju's still alive, but not for too much longer. Gets the finger out, but it's not enough. And okay, that's Tiny dead. Now with the Doom, I believe, over on Shiro with the duel as well. They don't have the damage to bring him down on top of the Supernova, though. He is ZZQ buying back. Oh, not buying back, coming back into this fight with the Cogs. It's, I don't even know who's winning this, as Zhao Fu also dies the planet. Dash comes back in. He was the one buying back. It says a dead Razor now. 4 for 3. One hero coming back.
LBZS. Good job on splitting the Doom and the Link now. Now we swap.
Yeah. One step at a time, you know. Just
oh man.
Doom and Shiro, I mean, yeah, can help you, but still need the damage.
Yeah, daring decision there from Phoenix to take the fight as all. ZZQ gets caught. He does get the ward down before the smoke pops, so Dash is good vision of the backlines and he gets to go in that way. And then, yeah, the Razor is dead once his BKB is over, but they didn't need to buy back.
How about this engagement? Ready to
Shiro has a
go.
blink. Clock bought a smoke. He's TPing back to his team. I can imagine that they're just straight on going again. She was for the Doom though. Okay, no AC, so even more defensive capability, even more attack slowdown.
Yeah. And pretty good against this heal that they've been struggling with. I mean, Guardian Greaves on Darkseer. Back before that, they've been quite significant, plus a Sunray too. Even a Clockwork at this point, who should have been an easy initial kill. Just he walks up the high ground, like up against the entirety of LBZS, but he doesn't die. Partly because of all of that. So yeah, having a Shiva is having that ability to reduce that regen somewhat.
And this is the window in the game where if you have scaling or like let's say a magic damage core, you still get to blow up people. But since LBZS don't have that, they're just right-clicking, and right-clicks are nearly always going to be slower, so Phoenix really gets some time to maneuver.
Finds that hook onto Irving with the follow-up control right into the arms of Shiro. This is going to be a dead Legion command. 45 seconds on the sidelines, the rest of the team a little bit too far away to do anything there to help. Phoenix, find a nice entry kill. Still have a tier 1 to take.
Beautiful assist and dunk. Grab him, push him back, take him into custody.
That wasn't even in vision. You just saw him walk by, and then I think he hooked him just outside of vision.
Quite possible. Dash already looking for the next one. Going to be cutting a wave here as well. Ah no, he aggroes it, uses the illusions for it. I can't believe that Phoenix is pulling this one back. Honestly.
It seemed impossible. I mean, LBZS was in such a good position.
Yeah, they didn't even, the mistakes they made weren't even that big, right? Like, two
good position now
weird
on the
Legion
high ground here
engages.
with the smoke initiation
Actually,
over
again.
on the Ursa, trying to control him up. Meanwhile, the Doom over on Darkseer, bring him down, raining fire from above. That's two heroes in exchange for two others, perhaps. Here, Zhao Fu gets a cookie down to the low ground, but a tree follows him. So it's now down to the cause. Stealing some damage again from the Tiny instead of the Ursa. It's right next to you. Irving able to finish up
He's gonna turn.
another. Supernova comes out though as the Phoenix buying back into this little toss forward the duel. Not sure about this one here. Has to take care to not lose it straight up. It times out before he falls, but this was a clown fiesta for LBZS. Just letting the Ursa be scary. Like, what?
Scary is putting it mildly, but yeah, this is once again the misexecute is not that big. It's just the miscast of the link. You get to do over on the Darkseer, no illusions for that fight, no heals for that fight, nothing.
Yeah, that was really good.
The Snapfire even gets out. Everything seemed set. Shiro's BKB was also used up pretty early in the fight, but they get to turn and burn.
Ursa gets a free shot as well. Forced off away and wishing, you should be fine.
It also has to be said here that they're running out of damage for this Tiny. Like, I know that Tiny has no base armor, but he is going to develop a lot of armor later on. And again, they're very reliant on the right clicks here, so this Tiny, now a significant obstacle. He's most likely going to live to get several of his spells off. Several rounds of his spells off, I should say.
Yep.
Actually, he's going again.
Like
I saw him think
aggressive.
about
I
it.
don't know about this one here. Hookshot, force off away. This time they get RQ. After a decent start, but out of vacuum on top of everybody. They have to run Shiro. He's very angry, but this time he's being walked, losing a lot of that damage. This is how these fights needed to look earlier, but maybe it's a little bit too late. There's no real follow-up. Fu forced the ult just to get them away from the Doom. And it's still just a clockwork here. Yeah.
Ult's traded, but the link goes on the right hero now. We are making progress.
We did it, guys. Oh god, Irving, no, toss back again, right
Ayo.
into the arms of Shiro. Irving, no way out of this one, or is there? Maybe with, there's no detection. All right, vacuum back. Zhao, it's getting Zhao Fu too, and it's, never mind. I jinxed them. I apologize.
Oh, you sure did.
protection, but the Glimmer Cape doesn't last forever. Not down two heroes. One of them can buy back. 30 seconds on the sidelines for sure is Irving. They have Aegis, they have a Cheese, they have a Catapult.
Basher up on his Ursa as well, so that's significantly going to reduce the ability of LBZS to kite him. He's a big man.
Oh, another one here. Dash just doesn't stop. BKB protects him from the follow-up though. Leech comes out, but doesn't last for all that long. The hookshot to control up Axe. He cannot chase if he wants to do force stuff. What? That's a low ground? What was that? Axe is down for the count after all.
I think it was Dash 4 staffing him.
Holy Hannah. This guy, he's just out of control on this Tiny. Last game and this one as well. After having much worse start too. Let's remember that.
He was not
again. He just doesn't stop wishing with the BKB force out vacuum wall onto everybody to force stuff away from the supernova. Looks scarier than it ended up being. But again, still nothing gained for LBZS.
First racks of the game going to Phoenix. If you would have watched this at 15 minutes, you would have said that there's no way in hell that this is going to happen. But Phoenix got their opportunities and they took them with both hands. Like, this is not just LBZS messing up. This is also Phoenix being very ready to take whatever is handed to them.
Yeah.
One knuckle, it's a finger. One finger, it's a hand.
One of these kind of games where you really have to look at the replay afterwards if you're LBZS, if they end up losing this one. And trying to figure out, alright, what's the point when it started slipping away? And did we recognize it at the time? Did we not? Did we just play too aggressive, too defensive? You know, it's always tough when you have full control of the game early on and then just goes away like that.
Mm-hmm. But better to have been in charge of the game and lose it than to never have been in charge at all.
Oh yeah.
This Darkseer, does he have an Aghanim Scepter?
I've seen it. No, Ursa has an Abyssal Blade, he's just not stopping with progression. At least Aegis is going to expire in 30 seconds, but might be able to take a fight before that, especially if they come to wishing here. But oh, there it is! Jump forward. He saw the catch you. He has his own. I was gonna say BKB, but that was just a shot from Irving. But then he gets just bonked into the head twice with a big old tree.
Dash has a crit. And at this point, linking up the Tiny is probably also a good idea.
Link forward, Avalanche, just some nice little turnaround with the duel. If they can bring down this Tiny, this would be big, but they need so much, and they do finish it off though. Shiro, nowhere to be found to actually try and turn this around. Once again, the static link being used already. It's time to also get the secondary follow-up. ZQ just hanging around a little bit too long. Or perhaps just covering for his team to escape.
Yeah, he was covering. I think he could have possibly decided to cog on the high ground and just let them walk into it, but maybe it wasn't off CD yet. At any rate, that was a bit of a weird jump from the Tiny, especially because he'd seen that the shard on the LC was up. Their first go on the line was hindered by exactly that. And then, yeah, the toss back is going to get cancelled, and your Ursa was nowhere near that engagement. So even though you got yourself a fight, you don't bring all of your troops. Ursa is just pushing towers. Objective gaming, man.
Team? Team? Kill tower, please, team?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Another refresher over on the Phoenix, by the way. We're just glossing over that now. That's now the
yeah, that's just
build.
normal. That's what are you talking about? This is normal. So, I mean, we're talking up Phoenix, and they've done a remarkable job coming back into this game, but it doesn't mean that they're immune to throwing it as well, you know? No game is unthrowable. LBZS already showed it, so... still might be able to force Phoenix into a similar situation. It's not like they don't have solutions to the Ursa, right? I mean, they have some initiation. They can go on and perhaps with a duel and bring him down before he can get a rage out and whatnot.
They have a bunch of 4-staffs to kite him around as well.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd time they clicked on the Darkseer, and I still didn't see it in time. I know he has a refresher queued up, but I don't know if he's got the Aghanims active. Tell me. Oh, wise Chinese ops.
Smoke in with the pipe, picked up by the Razor.
They have the Arcane Blink on the Doom.
Tough go. X coming out, blink forward, catches only one. Some on the Doom over on to the Ursa. Zizikio trying to create chaos, but already past the cogs. The duel over on the Darkseer, controlling him out. A lot of damage. Turn around with the super up. He's still alive. They win the duel, but at what cost? The damage is real. Doom is dead already. X is gonna take out. No more BKB to protect him. Is he gonna take out?
He should.
Yeah, he dies to neutrals.
Yeah.
Alright, sure.
Okay.
And he does have buybacks, so this could be worse. But, oh man. Only get the Darkseer and only barely.
Absolutely incredible counter engage there. Clocker, they were all so grouped around that duel that the Tiny just gets to slam into them.
Didn't even need a vacuum for it.
Mm-hmm.
All just piling on, trying to get that dual kill very quickly so as to free up Irving to follow up and do other things.
Going to be very hard to get the right spell out on the bear. Honestly, Kachu is going to have to be working overtime in order to make sure that Lincoln's is down. And most of the other spells are the ones that you actually do not want to get cancelled. Not the Link, not the Doom, not the Jewel, not the Finger.
Every little bit that you of lockdown and damage that you can get in this game.
That still is very nice aggressive vision there. Unfortunately for them though, it sees nothing. Because Phoenix is already back in the pit and they're just waiting this one out. They're going to be waiting for a full minute longer, however.
Oh man.
They don't care.
So much vision themselves, like so many dire wards on the map.
Well,
now. Getting another. Oh, okay. Gets the second hit out to force that back. And now two Phoenix are caught inside the cogs. But there's Shiro coming in. Kachu says goodbye. The dog is being walked. Supernova's out from the back. One of them anyway. And still going into it. The stun comes through on X. Pops the BKB. Still alive here. Shiro does not want to overcommit. Zizikyu will follow as a result. That is there. And that is Vacuum into the wall. Shiro with the re-engage, but doesn't quite still have the damage. X still alive. We jump forward and Shiro's dead. Buying back into this fight. Desert Duel onto Tiny. One by one they fall. Dolme next on the list. And sure, you buy back into this game, but there's no way you get there in time. LBZS out of nowhere, just getting to live and getting to win that fight. Can they do it again? Another buyback now from Dolme. Tiny is available too. Both teams know that this Roshan is up. Line back in 20 seconds. We can start wailing away on this Roche. That's the third one of the game. Hook shot forward on Zizikyu. That's Dayak for Tiny. And Wishing caught more or less alone in the front. He has to leap, but he can't. What was the plan there? For him to delay, then buy back, and buy time for Kachu to return, perhaps. Yeah. That is such a weird thing to say, but yeah, if you consider it, if you could think about it.
Always trade a hero with buyback for the hero without.
Roshan, super low, dragged out at the moment. Shiro couldn't finish it off.
Jordan's
now the
cancelled now.
Okay. That is X going in, starting to steal the damage. Force, okay, still lost a decent amount, but there's a duel in the back. Goodbye, RRQ. Okay, nice little cookie defensively here. BKB comes through, Shiro in the middle, but he's forced to BKB on out of there. Irving with the chase. Goodbye, Phoenix. Just good target fire, one by one, but now the vacuum into the wall, right into the Phoenix. Shiro's looking for a target here, but is it enough? The hook cookie catches 3. Shiro down to half health, now being drained throughout this entire time. He cannot fight. At least he doesn't want to, certainly with no protection. Razor will be fine. Meanwhile in the back, Tiny isolated from his team. He did not have enough push power, the Kips. And remember, they're all brought back. Everyone brought back on Phoenix. Roshan is still alive, but not for that much longer. Aegis and Cheese and a refresher shot going to be in their hands right now. Wishing one taking the Cheese, Aegis in the hands of X. On top of that shot, so double satanic, double ult if he wants it. Still have to deal with mid. It's gonna take a while to push this one out.
Yeah, just when Phoenix think that they finally have this game back under control, they run out of damage. Satanic on the Razor again and again, they can't burst him down anymore, so he always gets a second round of his spell stop, always a second leash as well. Wishing extremely tanky with the addition of that Shiva's guard, and I'm not sure what it is, but the Tiny is hitting into them and it doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe he's just getting unlucky on the crits, who knows?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, between that and Shiro not really able to get any hits in either, because he's always leashed, he has to run away. Like, Shiro's been spending so much time running around in these fights and not hitting that it's well, it seems like he's weaker than he actually is if he gets to hit.
Yeah, and it really illustrates how he wasn't supposed to get this strong in the first place.
Yeah.
Razor could have been doing this all this time.
DD in front of Roche that they could pick up. X, I think, yeah, they scouted. Irving, the one to pick it up at the moment. The worst thing either is to secure the outpost. They got rid of mid tier 2. They have a creep wave up top. They will not be able to go high ground, obviously, just because they've not established this kind of map control earlier on. But still, buybacks on cooldown for quite a while on the side of Phoenix still. So anyone you kill, they're gonna stay dead.
And you have a double doom right now. That refresher shard is a huge threat.
Passed over the Cheese to Irving. Right. What a game, what a series it has been so far already, Kips, and the excitement is yet to stop, I guess.
Definitely, like, I'm not sure where the Ursa goes from here with this itemization. You can't really... I suppose it's MKB time, just because the Razor has his butterfly, but you're already running out of damage. No Aghanims for the Darkseer, no extra HP. Catch you with the shard. Topping up his core. And triple doom.
Okay. Hey, I heard you like Doom. It's a single target spell, but why is it on 3 of our heroes? Huh. I know, I'll have to get back to you on that one. Does he even have the mana for that? I think he does, right? 1600 or so?
Yeah, he has a Shivas.
Alright. So all tier 2's down now as well for the side of Phoenix.
Map is wide open, and they've been walking around with this gem for a while now, so they've also been dewarding all of the vision that Phoenix has, and this means that Phoenix for now has to stay in their base. Cannot move out. Don't have any vision whatsoever to work towards.
Whew. 1 minute, 15 seconds. At that point, we'll probably see Phoenix smoke up and perhaps try and break out of the base.
If the Ursa has a Linken's here as well, it's going to be very hard to treat him the same way as you have in the previous fights, though. This might be an opportunity for Phoenix. I just haven't seen the purchase icon come out for the Ursa yet. And getting to his secret shop is very dangerous right now as well. So I think it's only a single Linkets for now. Just the Darks here, going to be able to provide that for a score. Yeah, it's MKB for the Ursa, alright. And so Ward watching the shop though is directly placed to watch couriers coming in as well.
20 seconds. At which point all this free space will be contested again. Here just been Phoenix. They really don't want to let this go. They realize that this is the bottom zeros for them to win, so they actually have just been sitting inside their base for the last couple of minutes while they're waiting.
This is about top spot in the group.
There's a slot free on Razor at the moment. Not often that you see that these days. With normally it's just some random tiny item in there.
He split up his Mask of Madness a while ago.
Yeah.
So that one's not in there anymore.
Quick pause. Show what's going on there.
Yeah, we're at a little bit of an impasse here. I think that LBZS would really rather finish up the... they have 2 Aeon Discs in the work right now for both of their supports. And I really think that they'd rather finish up those 2 than risk an engagement immediately, even though the advantage is like heavily in their favor right now.
Yeah.
Buybacks are coming back for Phoenix though, not all of them yet. Most notably the Tiny is going to take a while still. Phoenix buyback is... Phoenix buyback. He's most likely going to spend both eggs in the same fight. If he doesn't get those off, then it's GG already. It doesn't matter all that much. So the question is LBZS going to push their advantage here, even though the supports are still a little bit vulnerable to getting bursted? Or are they going to wait that out, and then we're going to see another Roche fight in a couple of minutes with both of the Aeon Discs online?
It's a bit tricky. I mean, all these buybacks are getting close to coming off cooldown as well. Darkseid and Ursa don't actually have the money for it. Would have to get a couple of kills in a fight to get there. Right now, if LBZS were to take a fight, they still have a bit of an advantage in that front if they timed all the buybacks correctly, which is not necessarily a given. Like, we see the exact timers, but LBZS will be like, when was that big fight when they all bought back? Yeah, it's just a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, they'll probably have it back soon. PM. Be ready to go here again soon. And here we are indeed. Let's see what the decision is. Phoenix get the smoke up. Still hiding inside the base for the moment. They're waiting for LBZS to make a move. Not the worst thing in the world. Not the worst idea in the world. I mean, high ground, it still gives you advantages. It still gives you that... the ability to fight inside a choke point where Darkseer can come into play up against LBZS, maybe overcommitting. Phoenix don't want to let go of that advantage.
LBZS are still lurking, hoping to...
What? It's fine, he gets refresher.
I guess. yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, what LBZS doesn't know isn't real.
Yeah.
They think they're fighting into double egg, they are fighting into double egg. Yep, we're purchasing the tome here.
Getting a bit nervous. Have an illusion helping to push out this wave down bottom. Still very timid out of LBZS. So these buybacks are becoming available again slowly but surely. But Ursa did buy out for something.
Should be the MKB. His courier is flying back right now, I think.
Yeah.
Made that dangerous trek to the shop. Razor is nosing about there right now, but he is late. As we see here, the neutral items. Illusion Escape on 2 heroes that aren't too amazing with it apart from Miyagi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stats. It's just good to help push out the waves a tiny little bit, maybe get some extra vision. Sometimes you bamboozle the enemy.
Phoenix are gearing up. They want to use this MKB. They want to burst this Razor. I'm not sure they can though. They have no vision to work towards.
This might very well be it. Maybe not. X was revealed
Got
on
one
this,
ward outside of their base here. Gets scouted immediately.
It's so crazy to me how can I get high ground vision by dropping a gem on the ground. It's like, yep, you just get to de-ward on cliffs for free with that.
Well, I mean, gem used to be a little bit too much of a gamble to pick up, right? It's good to give it a little bit more of an extra advantage.
Now,
The fact that you need to drop it out of your inventory is pretty...
it's a bit dangerous, but it's still necessity you pick up a gem at this day and age, I feel like, because the sentries not having enough range, like there being so much more possibilities to get wards with equivalent vision that are hard to find with one sentry. Just gets very cost effective. You just use the sentries to de-ward all the possible spots.
Phoenix got vision again. LBZS. Come and do something about that. This Razor is huge. It's got a Scotty on top of that butterfly right now. Sure, only just finished his MKB.
Long Roche respawn, favoring Phoenix a little bit perhaps. They're the ones who are still missing buyback on Darkseer, not too far away. Shiro needs a little bit more. They're smoked up and X in the front. You want to pull that trigger. This is, this is very tough. 4.2k HP.
35 armor.
Plus
Solar crested.
sitting right behind him with that W. So, yeah, okay, just running in. Hey guys, we fight. I'm clicking. There's a duel in the back. It's a do find RRQ. Alright, alright. Still a minute until Roche, so you can just wait it out without having to buy back necessarily. Yeah. Can't you? Pops his BKB to drain mana. Wait a second.
He gets magic immunity
Yes.
on the suck now. Oh.
Very fun.
Remember how I was saying that we were not going to see the AoE press the attack? That's a caster curse boomerang, man.
Yeah, caster curse and a half. He also has a lot of damage stacked up at this point. 210 is not nothing. Get the illusion. There we go. Plus 48. This game. Knife's Edge here really wants to farm his buyback, but where can he farm safely? Not in this jungle.
Only safe territory is towards that one bottom, that one ward they have in the triangle.
Tiny also bought something.
Yeah, buy that for BKB. He's needed that for a while. They're thinking about going now, but the Aeonists are up on the enemy supports.
He blinks in, down to half health. There's a duel. They're not wasting any time. Turning this one around. Tiny Steady just bought out. He's not going to be able to come back. Doom on to Phoenix. He will have a chance to return. Now the vacuum into the wall. Stun back and forth. But Shiro, what's happened to him? He's dead. The secondary duel brings him down. And he does not have buyback either. This is it. This is GG. One decision. They've been holding off on making that decision for so long. The moment they do, they get punished instantly. And that has to feel devastating for Phoenix.
You just bought out for that BKB. Then why, on God's good earth, would you not pop it before you blink in?
Well, he didn't have it for so long. It was not. He didn't have it on the right hotkey or something. Straight into the highlights, not wasting any time.
Yeah.
Damn.
Why not? Because
There's
this
a few
game was
highlights,
in
yeah. Oh my god.
LBZS's hands for so long. Like, to the point where they didn't really have to use their spells correctly anymore, which came to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, they dominated. It was, what, 13-0? 13-1?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. A cookie out. Beautiful played. Stun here as he's diving in. This was just an absolute stomp until this point, right? This is where they, oh yeah, just kill the Phoenix, and oh, okay, we can't actually do it. He gets the supernova out just as the duel ends.
Yep, and everybody's here.
This one thing
Irving does that again a bit later.
Yeah.
You hear this? This is Ursa getting leashed.
Yeah. Got Roche.
After he got his Roche.
Doesn't have teammates to help him.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. And this is where it feels like the game is over, right?
Yeah. But alas, it wasn't.
Vacuum wall.
I quite remember this one. I think this is still fine for LBZS.
No, because this is Shiro. Look, leash on the tiny. And Shiro just walks everybody down now.
It was fine until that point, until Shiro was able to finish off these two in the back. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. This was start of the comeback.
And it's going to happen again. He will do some work there too. Here's EZQ tanks it, and this is big go from the tiny. Gets the leash, but that means that Shiro is free to hit once again. He gets doomed, but he still deals damage, and he's not actually going to die throughout all of this. That is BKB out as well.
Duels, but there's no follow-up here. Supernova.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle that one.
Fights straight through to Doom.
Yeah.
In the meantime, this Darkseer has been doing work on the backlines.
Yeah. Razor as well.
Didn't cost him the buyback from Dash there.
Yeah, this looked pretty good. A couple of globs being thrown out, and yeah, Zhao Fu even gets to live for a little bit longer there. All together, I think he still ends up dying.
BKB was still out from Shiro. That's why he doesn't get to link him up over on the Razor.
Oh yeah.
It was the end of the BKB though. And then yeah, no damage stolen. Once again, Egg to interrupt the duel.
He linked up Tiny after all?
Yeah, he linked up Tiny.
Yeah. Because he couldn't Shiro. Makes sense. Alright, then they kind of go in, and this is where Shiro... Oh, I think this is where LBZS started turning things around again. The Shiro was linked 214 damage.
Like on the Razor
he's still going back in. Shiro's going back in, but he doesn't do anything. What was that call?
I don't know.
You know,
Razor turns on the Satanic, turns in general.
Yeah. The damage wasn't even close to timing out. It was half duration left on that 240 damage that you stole. Like, there's no way you'd re-engage there on Ursa. You're missing this much. Oh well.
Again, you'd hope to be able to get a re-engage here, but...
Yeah, this looks great.
Look at this
one more combo, but there's just no damage.
No damage.
Then the three-man cookie. Shiro gets linked up, so he has to run away. And then they have to Delta split to get isolated. Tiny's caught on the wrong side. He could not escape. And now the Doom over on Phoenix's last fight. Oh, yeah, this is where it was already over because Tiny's dead without buyback, right?
Yep.
And then Ursa as well.
Nothing to do, nothing to see. Yeah, in the end, great game from the Razor. Just persists. He won his lane. He gets all those important links on the Ursa in the end.
I could not be happier, kids. This was the kind of series that you wanted, the kind of series that you would expect out of these teams, sitting there on top of the charts, and now they're actually tied up there, 5-1, LBZS as well as Phoenix in the lower division. So yeah, last couple of games should be very interesting, and they'll play out over the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I'm personally hoping for tiebreakers, of course, because then I might get to cast some more games. But yeah, since Dragon did drop out, they were meant to play next Sunday, but as it is, it's a default win for Arius. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, he'll be casting a little bit more, or and then I believe Ricky and and Petey also still working at it. So plenty of good Dota for you guys to watch for the rest of the season, no matter what happens, and even for the rest of today, because there's two upper division matches coming up soon. PSG LGD versus SAG to start, and then IG versus Elephant. So do stick around. That'll be over on the main channel, PWRD Esports 1. We'll be hosting that. So yeah, nothing else to say. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and well, see you next time.
咱们俩这个4号位开的有。前20分钟挺满意，中间出了点，但是有点大问题。因为我们训练了挺多跳远模式的，然后打 DS 也舒服，然后我们风特是玩。当时应该是我吧，我觉得大概够打了，然后从那个上疯了。是。我他妈的10万我要走。10万，我这个是没有打发的。我们是等他放完大才意识到，就突然黑天了。 我觉得应该是失误吧，不过他有杀进球2个弹，我们也会去找他们打。我们不想说3-3就好。
DOTA 2开启全新篇章 ，DOTA Plus 加入游戏，英雄修行解锁徽章， 陪伴你从入门到精通，从新手成长为英雄。英雄语音聊天轮盘，诙谐幽默，你心中的话语，借英雄之口说出。
吹牛皮，升级绝对是好
完成任务即可获得英雄碎片，全新特效套装等你兑换，彰显不凡和尊贵。英雄圣物记录成就，带你回味每一个精彩瞬间。游戏中获得的数据将被忠实记录，数据也许